Supported in part by Service Electric Company. PCN, only on cable.
Tonight from Hersheypark Stadium, the PIAA Class Quad A Championship matchup between the Liberty Hurricanes and the Upper St. Clair Panthers. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Hersheypark Stadium for the Quad A Championship here on PCN between the District 7 champion Upper St. Clair Panthers and the District 11 champion Liberty Hurricanes. My name is Bob McCool. To my left is Steve Bowen, and to my right is Gary Sutton. And Gary, a recurring theme for the teams from the East, repeat of a chance to win a state championship, and that's where Tim Monsman and the Liberty Hurricanes find themselves coming in tonight.
Well, the Hurricanes come howling in here tonight with a 14-1 record, and Tim Monsman has done a great job there in 7 years. 57-23 is his record, but more importantly, bringing the team back here 2 years in a row is really, really a tough assignment. But one of the guys that's helping him to get there is a guy who has run for over 1,000 yards, passed for over 2,000, accounted for 36 touchdowns on the offense. His name's Dan Persa, and he's heading off next year to Northwestern University. But right now, Northwestern and Evanston are probably the farthest things from his mind. They want to atone for a loss here last year and walk out of here with a state championship tonight. And this is an outstanding team and a young man who can get it done on the ground with his feet and also passing through the air.
And standing in their way, Steve, is an Upper St. Clair team that's kind of reflective of their coach, Jim Redner. It's a block and tackle kind of straight on, nothing fancy kind of football team.
If there's a Mount Rushmore of Pennsylvania State high school coaches, Jim Render's got to be on it. 315 wins against only 99 losses in his career. This is his fourth trip bringing USC to the state championship game. They won back in 1992, and they're looking to make to even his record at 2-2. And heading the way for the Panthers is a little bit of a different kind of quarterback. Number 10, Pat McShane, who is more of a field manager. He has thrown very well, almost 1,350 yards this season, but his job is to direct this offense that likes to pound it and pound it and pound it. And then when you think they're going to pound it, they do. They pound it again. So two contrasting styles of teams, two contrasting styles of quarterbacks.
And much like we saw in this afternoon's AA game, both of these quarterbacks could have an impact on the defensive side of the ball as well. We'll throw things down to the field for the coin toss, and we'll get ready for the kickoff of the Quad A State Championship with Upper St. Clair and Liberty. We stand now for the national anthem. The coin toss was won by the Liberty Hurricanes, and Liberty winning the toss will put their offense and Dan Persa on the field to start this football game. Dan Persa, the outstanding quarterback for Liberty, as Gary said, heading off to Northwestern. And now we stand for the playing and singing of our national anthem.
Singing the Star Spangled Banner, to be sung tonight by Liberty High School student Miss Mary Kate Saratelli. Our flag at half-staff in memory of former Pennsylvania Governor Raymond Schaefer, who passed away this past week. Ladies and gentlemen, with pride, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Who whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
A terrific rendition of the national anthem from Liberty High School student Mary Kate Saratelli. And now let's take a look at our officials for this Quad A championship. Neil Evans is our referee. Richard Shavinsky is the umpire. Edward Egbert is our linesman. Daniel Bush is the line judge. John Croman is the field judge. Tom Hangy is the side judge. And Tom Drakeford is the back judge. See the state of Pennsylvania, and you see Upper St. Clair just south of the city of Pittsburgh, and of course Liberty High School in Bethlehem. The matchup, District 7, the WPIAL champion are the Upper St. Clair Panthers, and the District 11 champion, Bethlehem Liberty Hurricanes. Liberty making their home in the Lehigh Valley Conference, and of course Upper St. Clair playing in the WPIAL Great Southern Conference. And let's head down to the sidelines to the fourth member of our broadcast crew, Mike Kraus.
Time, you got two quarterbacks, Dan Purse and Pat McShane. When turnovers can have such an impact, those two quarterbacks, 387 attempts on the season, only 5 interceptions. The ball will be taken care of tonight, so it's going to come down to execution.
Just to give you some idea, Persa 64% completion percentage, 2,008 yards on the season throwing the football. McShane's numbers much more pedestrian. He's 57% and 1,319 yards throwing the football. So Upper St. Clair, the home team in the black and white, and the Liberty Hurricanes, the white team. The visitors on the scoreboard, white with the blue numbers and the blue helmet. The football trickles into the end zone, and so Liberty will start at 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. We take a look at the starters offensively for the Liberty Hurricanes. And in addition to Dan Burris in the backfield, Akeem Smith, an outstanding junior running back, is the halfback. Ray Mamuzic is the fullback. The receivers, Joe Orlando and Justin Rivera, and the tight end is Ben Fultz. Up front for the Hurricanes, you see Labarge, Luther, Smith, Solrock, and Begany are the front 5 for Liberty. 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes at their own 20. Persa starting in the shotgun in a naked backfield. Wants to roll to his left, buy himself some time, and look downfield. His pass is incomplete, and so we'll take a look quickly at the Upper St. Clair defense. A 4-3 look for Upper St. Clair. Shine and Applebaum are the ends, with Block and Mulholland inside. Taylor Everett is an outside linebacker. And you see a 4-4 look, I should say. Conwell is an outstanding linebacker headed to the University of Indiana. Dan Miller and Pat McShane are the corners, with Brant Surdy as the free safety. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Hurricanes, again from their own 20-yard line. Opening possession of the Quad A state championship. Persa this time does have company in the backfield as Rivera goes in motion. And on a design quarterback draw, Persa will keep it. He'll pick up maybe 2, and that's it.
And the blitz coming that time out of the linebacker spot from Ramsey Lesnett, 51, who was coming right up the gut and just got a hand for a moment. And watch this, just straight across. Nobody puts him, there he comes. Disguised it well, comes straight across, just gets a hand for a moment. Persa gets a gain on the play of about 3. It'll be 3rd down and 7 yards to go.
Yeah, if he tries to get in one slot later, he's got Persa dead to rights.
There you go. Take a look at Percy. He can run the ball as well. 181 carries for the season. 1,155 yards. Percy can get it done on the ground. 6.4 yards per carry and 17 touchdowns on the ground as well.
Again, out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 7. Persa with under a heavy rush, and he's going to get hit and dropped in the backfield back at the 15-yard line. Coming through and making the final hit for Upper St. Clair was Ramsley Lesnette, but take a look at what Taylor Everett from his outside linebacker does to shut it down.
Yeah, Everett does a great job of getting in early and actually forced Persa to step up a little bit.
Really a good job on that battle on the outside to just keep him contained and letting the interior lineman come in and have a shot at him.
Sack of a loss of 7 yards, and so the Hurricanes will have to punt the football. Taylor Everett will field it over his own shoulder at the 50-yard line, back down into Hurricane territory before being run out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. Take a look at the offense for Upper St. Clair. In addition to McShane in the backfield, Applebaum is the fullback, Dane Conwell is the tailback, Everett and Chrisis are the wide receivers, and Shine is your tight end. Zach Jones at center, Rantzukanis and Block are the guards, Sequoian and Mulholland are the tackles.
Talk about Conwell here in the backfield for Upper St. Clair. 1,416 yards in the season himself, 16 touchdowns and a 5.1 average. He gets it done for this team, too.
Then headed to Indiana next season, play football for the Hoosiers, and he gets the call on 1st down. He'll get it to about the 41-yard line before he's brought down, and we'll look at the Hurricane defense. 4-3 defensive set for Liberty. Petros and Sorok at the tackles, Luther and Bloom up front. Linebackers, Mamuzic, Schaefer. Corners are Justin Rivera and Oscar Rivera, the brothers. Dan Persa plays the strong safety spot, and Joe Orlando is the free safety spot. Gain of a couple for Conwell. They'll give it to him again on 2nd and 8. Finds some daylight and gets inside the 35-yard line, what looks to be a Panther 1st down.
Great vision that time by the 6'2", 210-pound halfback, as he looked like he was initially going to bounce it outside, but saw the opening up front and just cut it back in right here.
Well, take a look at Mulholland pushing out here on the right. Number 59, you'll see it right here coming up. Right here is 59 Mulholland, putting the block right out here to open it up, and then he's able to dive through for the quick gain.
And also the app-mentioned Jeremy block with a good trap sealing off the inside.
Play action fake this time. McShane wants to throw the football. He's got Everett at the 20. Everett fighting for yardage inside the 15-yard line. The football comes loose, but I believe they're going to mark him down at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 for Upper St. Clair.
Everybody bought the blast play, the dive play, the belly play, whatever you want to call it, dive into the line. Watch this. Everybody gets into the line and feels that coming, and then nice pass out to the flat and go one-on-one. And that's a beautiful play. You had good man-to-man coverage out there. But one-on-one, he dodged it, got a couple more yards, about 5 more yards, or 6 more yards out of it, actually.
And you can see on the replay the contact with the ground, and Pat McShane right away says that. Ball was on the ground, no fumble. 1st and 10 for Upper St. Clair at the Liberty 14-yard line. This time they'll go to the toss sweep to Conwell with a blocking out in front to the 10, the 5, the corner, and the touchdown.
They don't do anything really special or fancy. They just line up, button up the chin straps, and they block with such precision that it really looks simple.
Funny you mentioned block, because Jeremy Block, number 50, is the guy who pulled out of his guard spot that time and led the way down. And watch Block here. You'll see Block right here coming down. Now he's going to lay a block right there on the linebacker, and that's what opens up the touchdown.
Dane Conwell, a 14-yard run for the score, his 17th touchdown on the ground of the season. And now the extra point attempt coming up by Alex Romanis, and the extra point is good. 9 minutes, 1 second remaining in the first quarter. Upper St. Clair with a short field to work with. They take it 43 yards in 4 plays for the touchdown.
You see the block there by Block on number 10, Rivera coming down. And again, the pulling guard. And there's the block. He sustains it, pancakes him, opens it up for the touchdown on in there by Conwell.
And Steve, really, in addition to what you said about a kind of a vanilla type of team as Upper St. Clair, their defense sets up everything, and that's what sets up the first score.
Yeah, vanilla is an okay word. I just think that it's almost systematic, that there's not, there aren't a lot of bells and whistles to it. But again, what they do so very well and with such precision.
4 plays, 43 yards, a minute 24 with Conwell finishing off a 14-yard touchdown run. And for him, That's touchdown number 17 on the ground this season. And a great opening drive here by Upper St. Clair.
And again, I think this team of Upper St. Clair, as mentioned in the open, is that so much reflective of the personality of their head coach, Jim Redner. 37 years he's been a head coach of football. One of 4 coaches in the state of Pennsylvania. He's got over 300 wins in his career, 315, 99, and 6. He's been at Upper St. Clair for 28 years as the head coach. On the return for Liberty is Oscar Rivera, and a very good return for Oscar Rivera across the 35 to the 37-yard line. But we're talking with Jim Redner before this football game a little bit about his quarterback and cornerback, Pat McShane.
Well, Pat's an excellent athlete, first of all, and when we first started working with a quarterback, he had great thought processes and made great decisions right from the beginning. So he understands the game, and he understands what we're trying to do with him. You know, we establish the run, and we throw the pass as one of our weapons, not necessarily the prime time show.
And he also plays defense as well.
Did you script that, Bob? That's amazing.
Timing is everything in life.
Pat McShane coming up out of his defensive back spot and just laying it out that time. McShane, the cornerback, just stopping it just outside the line of scrimmage. Second down and 9 yards to go.
A 1-yard hookup to Justin Rivera. Again, the Rivera brothers, a dangerous combination for Liberty. Oscar is the senior, Justin is the junior. This, for the first time, is Akeem Smith, another dangerous weapon. 1,300 yards rushing on the season, and Akeem Smith takes it out to about the 44-yard line.
Isn't it funny? It's 7:58 to go in the first quarter. The first time we mentioned this guy's name, Akeem Smith. Look at the move there. 6.8 yards a carry, 27 touchdowns on the ground this season, and it takes us till 7:58 of the first quarter to get to this guy. There's so many stars in this field here tonight.
And he kind of came out of nowhere coming into this season. He was a pleasant surprise, to say the least. Got virtually, literally no playing time at all last year, but now as a junior, he's evolving into a star. Speaking of stars, Purse is in trouble in the backfield, and he's going to go down again.
And a fumble on the play, but Liberty recovers.
Dan Purse sacked for the second time in the football game, back at about the 41-yard line.
Coach Redner brings a lot of pressure from the blind side. You're going to see David shine in the picture from the blind side, but Purse gets drilled from the side he could actually see coming that time by number 59, Dan Mulholland, leading a whole group of Mad Panthers, and they're going to force Liberty into a punt situation.
Jim Monsman a little concerned on the sideline. His team has gone 3 plays and a punt in their 2 series. Mamazic's punt fielded by Taylor Everett. Everett breaks a tackle to the 30 to the 32-yard line before he's finally brought down.
And of course, Everett was involved in one of the great plays. We'll talk about that later on, but with 6:49 to play first quarter, it's USC 7 and Liberty nothing. You're watching Quad A championship action on the PCN, Pennsylvania Cable Network.
The Earth is moving through space at millions of miles per hour. Shouldn't you know where you're going? If you're planning to continue your education after high school, you have many things to consider.
What are you going to major in?
Have you chosen a school yet? Have you mailed your FAFSA?
How would you pay for school? Let educationplanner.org guide you. It's your one-stop career and college planning website. It's easy and it's free. Educationplanner.org, leading the way to your future.
The top 8 reasons why students should play interscholastic sports.
School spirit, sis boom ba. Is that what they used to say?
For the physical and mental workout.
To know the thrill of victory.
It's real, not virtual.
Hearing my mom over the crowd.
Because sports is a metaphor for life, right?
To just have fun.
And the #1 reason why students should play interscholastic sports.
To get my family out of the house.
The Upper St. Clair Panthers on the 14-yard touchdown run by Dane Conwell on top of Liberty, 7-0, and the Panthers will bring their offense back out on the field for series number 2, 1st and 10 from the 33. Hersheypark Stadium, the site for the football championships in 2006. Adam Christus goes in motion And the handoff is to Conwell, and Conwell will go nowhere. Coming up to make the hit, Mamuzic from his linebacker spot.
Played that very, very well. Didn't give up the corner, and also made sure that he was in position in case of the cutback, which is exactly what happened.
Nobody home on the blocks this time, is wide open there. Coming across number 24, that was Mamuzic, as you said, and just smelling everything out right away and stayed put.
A 5-2 defensive alignment for Liberty, and that was a switch that occurred earlier in this season. Then Montsman had trouble with his defense stopping the run. They went to a 5-2 look, and they've been much better at it ever since. But some holes this time for Conwell as he breaks across the 45-yard line before Oscar Rivera trips him up at about the 47, 48-yard line.
What you're going to see again, some good blocking up front there to the inside. It opens up a hole for Conwell. He doesn't need very much. And again, you'll see him coming this way. And the block right off there to the right-hand side is just absolutely mammoth and getting good holes for Conwell to jump through for 4- and 5-yard bursts.
Radzakaitis keying the way, number 52.
14-yard pickup for Conwell to the 48-yard line. And again, Chrisis goes in motion, and it's time it's the toss to Conwell. He'll get it right to midfield, and then he'll be wrapped up. And we'll go back down to the sidelines to Mike Krause.
Focused on as he believes in the block and he believes in running the ball. What he's trying to do by that run is get that defense, get 9 guys up in that box. Then you might see a pass and a possible big play.
2nd down and 8 coming up for Upper St. Clair. As Mike said, they just kind of poke, and every once in a while they'll take it deep on you. And again, the 18-yard pass play from Pat McShane to Taylor Everett, setting up the touchdown run for Dane Conwell. Conwell gets the call again from midfield on 2nd and 8, picks up about 3 more.
Just straight up blocking, power, smash mouth football that time as Conwell gets in behind the right guard, Jeremy Block, and Dan Mulholland, the right tackle. Both are 50 and 59 respectively, and pushes forward for a couple more yards, brings up a 3rd down and 5.
This will be an interesting play call by Jim Render because we did see the one pass to Everett in that last drive, but this is kind of iffy situation. They could run, they could throw.
What a sprint out on this play normally.
Chrisis this time goes in motion, now he turns him back and goes back the other way to the right side, and they'll give it to the fullback instead on the quick hitter, and he'll get to the 45, maybe to the 44-yard line.
Little mix-up that time between McShane and the fullback Brett Scheller.
Watching some film earlier in the season that they were against Penn Hills. They like to do a lot of play action, rollout type stuff on this. This time just straight up the gut, nothing fancy, and trying to push straight ahead. And the plug hole comes up very fast with white shirts from Liberty. As you see, leading on the tackle that time, number 50, Big John Schaefer.
Scheller gets 2 yards, and that's it. And Upper St. Clair will punt the football. And Oscar Rivera back there for Liberty, but it hits at the 15-yard line and goes out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Excellent job on the coffin corner punt that time by Ben Frauden. PCN's wall-to-wall farm show coverage will run Saturday, January the 7th through January the 12th. Some of the highlights include high school rodeo and the sheep to shawl competition. Governor Rendell will lead the opening ceremonies live on PCN January the 6th.
Steve, are you showing your prize bull this year at all?
No, I've retired, Gary. and so has the bull as well.
I don't know about that.
Not based on that question.
Not if you've been here all weekend.
It's all a really sick setup.
1st down and 10 from the 15-yard line for the Liberty Hurricanes. 3 plays and a punt in both of their first 2 series. Dan Person and company needing to get something going right now, trailing 7-0. They'll start it by giving it to the tailback, Akeem Smith. He'll pick his way forward for maybe 3.
Right now, Upper St. Clair is winning the battle of the line of scrimmage. They are really holding their own there, giving up yardage sparingly, although they got 4 on this one. But take a look. Tough getting some open blocking up through there, although they're setting through that time the fullback to try to get something going.
Smith gets about 4 on the play. That's it. We'll call it to the 24-yard line, just shy of the 24. 2nd down and 6. Joe Orlando will come out split right. 2 tight ends set. Mamuzic is the fullback. Smith is the tailback. They fake the toss, and Person's going to keep it. Doesn't fool Upper St. Clair. Getting him around the ankles for Upper St. Clair. was Zach Jones, I believe.
They're going to come up with third and about 3 to go, but I like the last 2 play calls because, Gary, you did mention, and it's true, that Upper St. Clair is winning the battle of the trenches, and I think Tim Monsman is trying to win it back with this particular series. They've tried to go a little bit of their power game as well.
Plus, he's going a little bit conservative here, being inside the 20, as they didn't get real good field position again and trying to figure something out. Here's a good play here for some kind of short route, maybe down and in.
Mamazic in the backfield alongside Person in the shotgun. Justin Rivera goes in motion. Person's going to keep it. Needs to get a block, and he's got to get away from Adam Everett. He's not going to do it. Adam Everett wrestles him to the ground at about the 18-yard line.
And Everett's the guy we were talking about before in last week's semifinal game against State College. You'll see the defensive play that he makes here. Good pursuit.
Was never a pass play intended there. That was all set up to fake and the run by Person. Nobody was buying, and there's where you get your scouting film out. You say, that was one the coaches got for you.
Anyway, last week with a punt from State College, he was walking away from it. The State College players, oh, what a block.
It is blocked, and it's going to trickle through the back of the end zone. So Upper St. Clair getting it done now on special teams. It will be a safety awarded to the Panthers. The blocked punt goes through the back of the end zone and put 2 more on the board for Upper St. Clair. With 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first period, the score now USC 9 and Liberty nothing.
And I think it was 11. Matt Schmoyer, if we get a chance to see it again, he's certainly getting all the congratulations. And I thought I saw 11 flash through. Yep, it is Schmoyer. Does a great job of just coming from the outside. No one touched him.
Steve, you talked about special teams. This team takes pride in the special teams. But Everett, you were mentioning a moment ago, has certainly been a big part of that. And last week, never bigger than just before the first half at State College.
Yeah, there was a punt. He kind of ran away from it. The State College players were all gathered around it. And then when the ball stopped, they just kind of figured that the play was dead. Everett said that he snuck up on him, called it a little bit of espionage, and grabbed it and ran it in for a really back-breaking score.
Turned a 14-7 halftime game into 21-7 at the break, because it was the final play of halftime. And Jim Render's quote is one that is kind of making its way around the town right now. He said in the city of Pittsburgh there was always the Immaculate Reception. He refers to that now as the Immaculate Deception.
We know they played against Mount Lebanon. They had 2 blocked punts there. One by Grant Surdy, who picked up the ball, ran 30 yards for a touchdown during a 24-14 victory at Mount Lebanon. So this is a team that lives on special teams a lot, and they'll take advantage of every single play they can get. And that's one of the things that makes Coach Render's teams so great over the years.
Adam Christus on the return for Upper St. Clair, and the Panthers will start in Liberty territory. And catching up with Tim Monsman before the game, talking about what his defense has to do to try to come up big against Upper St. Clair.
Scheme-wise, we'll try and pack the box the best we can. And in secondary, I think we're fortunate we have some good athletes that we'll try and shut down receivers just playing a straight man look or rolling over the top. But we're going to try and get as many guys in the box as we can and hopefully shut it down. It's tough because they basically tell you what's coming, but no one's been able to stop it. So hopefully we can slow it down a little bit.
Jim Monsman in his 7th season as the head coach at Liberty done a great job. Here comes Christus on an inside reverse. Christus to the 30, 25, and tripped up inside the 20-yard line. And the Panthers got it going right now.
Number 87, David Shine, has an outstanding block to make this reverse go. And we'll see it because it was right out in the open and it was on the contained man.
And also, Jeremy Block came to pull in again and sealed the inside. Now you see Shine right there. Look at that, finishing it off. And on the inside, it was Jeremy Block just sealing off the inside man right here. Block seals there, and now Shine seals here, and guess what? That's where you're heading.
25 yards is what Adam Christus ends up with. 1st and 10 for the Panthers at the Liberty 19-yard line. This time out of a straight eye, it's Conwell who'll get the call, and Conwell get maybe to the 17. Pickup of 2, it'll be 2nd and 8.
That last play, that inside reverse is kind of, I think, a little bit more normal for what Upper St. Clair tries to do. They have this reputation of everything's between the tackles and they just try and wear you down. But they will run a lot of variety of plays. It's just, it all revolves around a big very good blocking offensive line.
Christmas this time goes motion left to right. Out of the eye, play action fake, and McShane is going to throw for it. He has Taylor Everett inside the 10-yard line down to about the 8-yard line. So again, Taylor Everett comes up with the big pass reception, and it's going to be...
Well, watch Everett. Everett's just going to come down here and go out, and it's a beautiful time pattern. The ball was waiting for Everett when he got there. That's how good it was for McShane. Look at that. Everett just turns, feet in, ball exactly where it's supposed to be.
First and goal to go for Upper St. Clair at the 9-yard line.
You said earlier about this team being vanilla. I'd call this team economical. They waste nothing.
Here comes Conwell on first and goal, and Conwell will get maybe a yard, and that's it. Good job that time by the left side of the defensive line of Liberty.
Was that Braxton Isaac, 83, in on the tackle?
And Isaac is a guy that Tim Monsman talks highly of, says that he is going to be a player a lot of people are going to get to know before he's done. He's just a sophomore.
Give credit also to Alan Petros, who did a great job there of getting underneath as well.
Isaac's a big sophomore, 6'4", 220.
And it looks as if Liberty and Upper St. Clair are going to come to the end of the quarter. Upper St. Clair feeling contented with where they stand. It will be second down and goal to go for the Panthers. If and when the first quarter ends, the clock is stopped with 10 seconds to go. Now it just restarted. The clock did stop as both teams started to walk off the field. And instead, it stopped for a moment, but that indeed will be the final play of the first quarter. At the end of one quarter of play, it is the Upper St. Clair Panthers 9 and the Liberty Hurricanes nothing. We'll take a break. We'll come back with second quarter action of the Class Quad A State Championship on the Pennsylvania Cable Network.
This PIAA Sports Championship on PCN is underwritten by the Association of Pennsylvania State College and University Faculties. Every day, APSCA faculty and coaches of the 14 state system universities are making a difference in the lives of students. Committed, dedicated, that's APSCA, Pennsylvania's own state system faculty. And by PIAA, Pennsylvania's best choice for affordable student aid solutions, is proud to be a sponsor of the PIAA Football Championships. Funding higher education in Pennsylvania for more than 43 years, PIAA's gift to Pennsylvania is the future leaders, caregivers, and inventors we help create.
The Liberty Hurricane faithful trying to encourage their defense right now. It finds themselves in trouble as we start the second quarter alongside Gary Sutton and Steve Bowen. My name is Bob McCool. Mike Krause on the sidelines with us. Upper St. Clair trying to extend their lead, which is 9-0 right now. Pat McShane rolling out, finding his fullback, Neil Applebaum, but the officials are going to wave off the play.
What really makes that play interesting is a slant blocking to the right, and then Applebaum just kind of slips out to the left-hand side, and McShane finds him out there, but Applebaum not able to hold on to the ball.
So the first incomplete pass of the game.
See, everything's coming this way, and then you come right back to the other side, but there it was. He was open and just not able to hang on.
Under the pressure of Oscar Rivera, Applebaum couldn't hold on. It'll bring up third and goal from the 8. Out of the I formation behind McShane. This time they'll give it to Conwell, and Conwell will fight to the 5, and that's it. Fourth down, goal to go coming up, and a decision time coming up for Jim Render. Let's check in quickly with Mike Krause.
You're getting a good look at Ted Peterson. Ted was an offensive lineman for the Steelers. He won a Super Bowl ring in 78-79. The reason he's here, he's also the athletic director for Upper St. Clair. Ted has shown a lot of emotion as if he's out there wearing the pads, patting the guys as they come out, cheering them on. He's still out there. He's got that football still in his blood.
And coming up, we're going to have a field goal attempt from Alex Romanis. Looks like it's going to be about a 21-yard field goal attempt. It is up. It's good. 11:09 remaining in the second quarter. The score now is Upper St. Clair 12, Liberty nothing.
Tell you what, that could have been a 45 attempt for Romanis. That hit off the high part of the score, but that's his 11th field goal of the season.
And it really is time now for Tim Monsman and his offense to try and figure out, try and find something in the playbook that's going to work against this Upper St. Clair defense, because USC really has shut them down, and it's been a combination of strength and quickness, because they've been very good, especially on the corners, making sure that contain is held and nobody's gotten outside. The one run by Akeem Smith is about the only thing we have.
Take a look so far. One side of the numbers, USC 74 yards on the ground to 6 for Liberty. 26-1 in the pass, 100-7 total. There you see Jim Render. Jim Render always looks like he just kind of is uncomfortable. He's got that annoyed kind of look that coaches get. He's thinking all the time. You just like it. And I was watching on some tapes I was looking at the other week. It's always the same look. Never too high, never too low, just kind of pensive. Like that word, Steve? Pensive.
I do.
Yes. A long time as a head coach. A year in his native Ohio. Then it was at Uniontown. Also WPIAL team, and now 28 years as the head coach at Upper St. Clair. This is his 4th appearance in a state championship game. He won it in 1989, beating Kerry Collins and the Wilson Bulldogs right here in the 2nd year of the state championships of the PIAA. He lost in 1992 to John Ritchie and the Cumberland Valley Eagles, and he lost again in 1997 to Central Bucks West, the first of 3 straight titles for CB West.
And you talk about 4th time here, 5 times this year. He won his 5th WPIAL championship this year as well. So got one for the thumb. He said, I'm not sure it really fits my thumb, but he won it anyway. And over at Heinz Field a little bit earlier in the season.
It's a Pittsburgh thing.
There we see the scoring drive on the field goal. 6 plays, 39 yards. Romanis from 21 yards out.
1st and 10 for Liberty, looking for their first down of the football game. They'll give it to Akeem Smith, and Conwell will wrap him up by the ankles, and Smith will lean to the 29, and that's it.
Again, the contain on the corners. If you can do that all night long, you're going to make it difficult for any offense to try and move against you.
Well, here again, you'll see the rush along the line here by USC. They do such a great job of getting their quickness, diving through the gaps and making stops like you saw right there by number 23, Dane Conwell, the leader of this defense.
2nd down and 9 coming up for the Hurricanes out of a 2 tight end set. One back in the backfield. Now Petros goes in motion. And Persa wants to throw the football. It's complete. Right in front of the bench for Upper St. Clair at about the 35-yard line. Joe Orlando makes the catch. First completion of the day. Excuse me, 2nd completion for Persa.
Joe Orlando, just a quick down and out, 2-step drop. You'll see him come down quick to the sideline. That's basically all that Upper St. Clair has given so far. A little outs to the side, and 3rd down again and 4 to go for Liberty.
Joe Orlando, the son of Bo Orlando, the former Berwick and Houston Oiler player, and now an assistant coach for Tim Monsman on the coaching staff for the Hurricanes. 3rd down and 3 coming up for Liberty from their own 35-yard line. This time Akeem Smith goes in motion. Mamuzic is the fullback beside Persa, and Persa again under a heavy rush throws the football, and it's nearly intercepted by McShane. McShane picks that off. He's got 6 points. Instead, it's an incomplete pass.
Linebacker blitz coming that time, really rushed him, and a quick pass, and again, almost picked off, but it'll be 4th down, and Liberty will kick it away. Watch the linebacker blitz coming straight up here. And I mean, everybody's coming. Quick pass to the outside, and you're looking at 6. Oh, yeah. Oh, I could have been a champion. Yeah, on the waterfront all over again.
That blitz benefited Mulholland as he got in on Persa.
There is Bo Orlando, the assistant coach, the aforementioned Bo Orlando. And we head down before the punt, a penalty flag, and we'll check in after the official signal with Mike Krause.
On the kicking team, 5 yards.
So we'll back up the Hurricanes, and we'll check in with Mike Krause.
Bob Bo Orlando from Berwick, lived in Berwick, but when Joe was growing up, he said, I want you to have your own identity. I don't want you to follow my shadow. So he moved down here to Bethlehem, and he said to Joe, hey, you do what you want to do. Joe got into football, loves it, and as he got into Liberty, Coach Monsman said, hey, Bo, seeing that you're around, what do you think about coaching? He said, I'll coach as a volunteer, and you know the rest of the story.
And he just committed a serious penalty right now on the punt. Joe Orlando runs into the return man, Adam Chrisus. And we're going to have another penalty flag coming up. Actually, there's 2 on the field. But Joe Orlando for sure is going to be one of the victims here, as he's going to get called for running into the return man.
There's actually 3 down now on the field, and everybody's standing at their flag.
I think that they're all for the same thing, though.
Now take a look. Look at this. Yeah, you got to give him a chance to catch the football.
Actually, it was Everett, the return man, not Chris's. So there's one flag we know for sure. But each official is standing over his respective penalty flag right now. This is mine, this is yours, and that's mine.
Never the twain shall meet.
Maybe they have a monogram.
Talked about Bo Orlando. Of course, a lot of people remember he played at Berwick and won a mythical championship there, but they did not have the state championships at the time. He graduated the year before they got started here. Took his hard-hitting style to West Virginia, where he led the Mountaineers to an 11-0 regular season record in '88. Ended with a national championship game lost to Notre Dame, did Bo Orlando. Played in the NFL for 9 seasons, only 5'10", 195 pounds. Most of them as a starting cornerback and safety with Houston, San Diego, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh before he retired in '98. And he said, I'll do this job right here, but I don't want to be paid. You can see Bo Orlando brings an awful lot of expertise to the side, and he's also a member of the Pennsylvania News Century All-Football team.
Interference on the kicking team, 15 yards, re-kick, we play 4th down.
So the penalty will go backwards, and Upper St. Clair will say we'll take the penalty and re-kick. So that's the decision from Jim Redner. So it'll be a 15-yard penalty against Liberty, the second penalty against the Hurricanes in the game.
We mentioned Bo Orlando there. Just finish off that thought. The Pennsylvania News All-Century football team put him in the same defensive lineup as Chuck Bednarik. Tell you what, Chuck Bednarik equal defense.
Yes.
One of the concrete kids.
So Upper St. Clair should get pretty good field position following the punt from Ray Mamuzic. In trouble with the snap, and Mamuzic is going to try to run out of there to the 10, to the 20, to the 25-yard line, and that's it. So Upper St. Clair will get even better field position inside the 30-yard line at about the Hurricane 27-yard line. The eyes of the world will be fixed on Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania on February 2nd, and PCN will be there. Live coverage of all the festivities and filled the Groundhogs. Much anticipated weather prediction. 6 more weeks of winter, or perhaps, as he says in the corner of your screen, maybe even an orange.
Actually, it comes down like this when it hangs upside down.
I don't think that was a designed fake punt. I think it was a high snap, and with the pressure that Upper St. Clair got in, Mamuzic did what he knows best, and that's running the football.
I would hope that there was not a thought process of any kind of a fake from that position on the field, and Mamuzic just trying to bail his team out. Let's see if we can see the snap, and there it is. It's high, and he feels some pressure from Chris's and decides to run with it instead.
Did a nice job of running too. He's normally known as a blocking back, but looks upfield, gets back to maybe the original line of scrimmage, and that's about as far as he's able to get. So got a little bit better field position for his team defensively, but not what he would have had if he'd been able to get that punt off.
And how many plays has Taylor Everett been involved in so far this evening for Upper St. Clair? It seems like every replay you see 88 flashing in someplace.
He's made catches, he's made plays defensively, and he's made plays on special teams. And right now it's the Dane Conwell show for Upper St. Clair as he'll get another first down inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Panthers.
Watch Neil Applebaum right here, number 37, making the block, and then you'll see opening up, getting on through, and again, another first down as they're moving the sticks.
You can see how Conwell rushed for over 1,300 yards this year. He's already up over 60 in the game on 10 carries.
Talk about number 50, Jeremy Block. It seems like he's out in front of everybody all night long, and there you see the Upper St. Clair rushing. 5 to the left for 44, 8 to the right, middle for 38, and 1 to the right for 10.
We'll go to the right this time, if you want to call right off right tackle anyhow. Conwell will lean to maybe the 10-yard line. Pickup of about 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Coming off the backside of Jeremy Block and Dan Mulholland, number 50 and 59 respectively, and there you see Jim Render again. Jim Render, not one of those guys going to put the headset on. He likes to be thinking the whole time. He walks and thinks all evening long. Fun to watch him.
So right now the Hurricane defense is in some serious trouble and needs to come up with a play. And instead it'll be Conwell, get a great block, and he'll walk into the end zone. The fullback Applebaum with the seal block that springs the hole for Conwell to take it home from 10 yards out.
What's great about this block by Applebaum is he goes straight down and then turns the block inside and up. Now watch here. Applebaum's off to the left, right here. Applebaum's here, and then he turns the block right up here, and that's what springs the touchdown run.
Also, Sequoian with a nice little seal. He pulled out and then got a nice seal block on the inside. You'll see it right there.
And an injured Hurricane on the field right now as Upper St. Clair extends their lead.
Like there's Sequoian doing the job right there to the inside, and then Applebaum to the out.
And with 8 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the first half, the score right now pending the extra point, Upper St. Clair 18, Liberty nothing. We'll take a break. We'll come back to Hersheypark Stadium with more after this on the Pennsylvania Cable Network, PCN.
Coaching, caring, inspiring, teaching. Every day, APSCUF faculty and coaches of the 14 state system universities are making the difference in the lives of students.
Their experience in athletics definitely affects their performance in the classroom.
I think it's discipline in the athletic world. I think it's discipline that makes you great in the academic area as well.
Committed, dedicated, APSCUF, Pennsylvania's own state system faculty.
I want them to aspire to greatness.
In all the world, there are a select few who at their very core are capable of incredible transformation. Under the most grueling conditions, they are shaped, hardened, sharpened, ready to stand among the most elite of all warriors. The few, the proud, the Marines.
The 10-yard touchdown run from Dane Conwell, extending the lead for Upper St. Clair. Alex Romanis will now come on to attempt the extra point. The holder for the Panthers, junior Tyler Rockenstein. Snap good, hold good, and the kick is up and through the uprights, actually off the scoreboard from Romanis. And now the score is Upper St. Clair 19 and Liberty 0.
And it's like watching a surgeon right now going scalpel, knife, scissors. I mean, this Upper St. Clair team is just picking apart Bethlehem Liberty right now on everything that they're doing, Steve.
It's a big, tough surgeon with a lot of grit. I mean, they have been blocking. We talked about precision. This is as good, and I've seen them twice this year, once live and once on television, and I got to tell you, this is as good as I've seen Upper St. Clair all season long. They are just absolutely positively square on every single blocking scheme.
You know, here again, you watch the blocking, and you see the blocking up front in here. You see the blocking back here by the backs, and then straight on in. I mean, look at the holes. And that's what this team does well. This is a team, by the way, that was not picked at the beginning of the year to be here. People were talking about Central Catholic. They were talking about Woodland Hills. They were talking about a lot of teams out there. This team really wasn't on the map at that point. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of those picks were by reputation more than anything else. And certainly it was kind of an up-and-down season in District 7. The one constant, though, we're watching on the field right now with the black helmets and the white letters. Upper St. Clair really just kind of steamrolled over everybody, while some of the other teams that were picked ahead of them kind of fell off to the wayside.
4 plays, 28 yards there, and a little over a minute for that drive to put 19 points on the board.
Justin Rivera will field the kick at about his own 15-yard line. To the 25-yard line, tries to turn the corner, and nothing there but black jerseys as he'll be run out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. And so Liberty and Dan Persa still looking for their first down of the football game, and now trailing 19-0.
There's Dan Persa, 2 out of 4 today for only 6 yards, 5 carries for only -4. So we talk about the defense of Upper St. Clair. That talks a lot about it, as we saw a great tackle a moment ago by Grant Kindebarrow, the senior on the special teams. Special teams have really been the name of the game tonight, too, for Upper St. Clair.
And you talk about the progression through the season of Upper St. Clair. Those points that they gave up all season long was last week, the 20 against State College. Everything else was 13, 14, 7, 9.
Persa out of the shotgun in a naked backfield, looking for somebody to break open. Nothing there. Now he's trying to buy himself some time, and he's going to get tripped up back at about the 25-yard line, and tripping him up for Upper St. Clair was Jeremy Block.
And the coverage out there in the secondary right now is like a big old blanket over any receivers downfield, and that's why you're seeing Pursa running for his life right now, as there is nothing available so far with the Upper St. Clair defense in that defensive backfield.
This isn't a huge defensive line or offensive line, for that matter, for Upper St. Clair, but they're all very strong and they're very quick, and that quickness, I think, is really taking its toll so far tonight.
And that's the 4th sack by this defense for Upper St. Clair. 2nd and 14 now for Pursa. This time again under a rush. Finally dumps it off. Joe Orlando makes the catch. He'll get it out to about the 30, and that's it. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 9, maybe 10 for the Panthers.
Upper St. Clair is doing a great job so far, Bob, of zoning out there and really moving that zone around to cover up who's ever in the area. It's almost like a matchup zone you would see in basketball. Very quick at picking up the people coming in their area.
That was a spectacular catch by Joe Orlando, because it was down around his ankles, but then a tremendous tackle by Lesnett to really stop it for a little gain.
3rd down coming up for Bethlehem Liberty. 3rd and 9 from their own 30-yard line. Big play coming up. The Liberty Hurricanes looking for their first down once again. Pursa out of the shotgun. Buys himself and has some time this time, looking to go deep, but his pass is over the head of Akeem Smith and incomplete. Now we'll head down to the field for Mike Krause.
Bob, John Schaefer's left knee, they're icing it. Talk to the trainers. He will not return.
John Schaefer you see on the sidelines, and that is a big injury. John Schaefer actually taking the place of Mike Hitchings, who had his leg broken last week. Hitchings, a two-way player at center and linebacker, and Schaefer took his place at the linebacker spot. So now really, by the definition, the 3rd team linebacker out there for the Hurricanes. Taylor Everett has some trouble with the punt return and finally falls on the football back at the 40-yard line.
We talk about discipline, we talk about precision. We even saw discipline on a muff that time. Everett did a great job. Once he muffed the ball, he didn't try and pick it up, didn't try and do anything fancy. They're up 19-0, fall on the football, and then gain possession at the 40.
Well, discipline on special teams, and even when they make a mistake, as you said, they covered it up so well. But watching his team defensively so far, that last series, on the last play, man-to-man defense that time, coverage everywhere, responsibilities, very disciplined.
1st and 10 for the Panthers from their own 40-yard line. Christus again in motion. I formation, Applebaum the fullback, Conwell the tailback. Conwell turns the corner to the 50, 40, and a foot race down the sidelines. Conwell to the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown. Dane Conwell, number 3 on the night.
Started with a block by his fullback, 37 Applebaum, and then a tremendous seal on the outside by number 40. Oh, there's a flag on the play.
Sitting right on the 50-yard line. It's hard to see. Now watch the seal right here. Applebaum is coming down, and you're going to see one heck of a block coming up right in here, okay, as he comes down and then comes back right here and seals a block, opens up the cut right through the middle.
And then Christus with a nice block downfield, and I think they're going to call him for holding.
And so wipe out the 60-yard touchdown run for Dane Conwell.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 1st down.
And a breath of fresh air for the Liberty Hurricanes, to say the least. And the penalty will take the 6 points off the board, and it will back Liberty up.
For Liberty right now, you're looking just for something. I mean, you really haven't found anything so far in this game that has you interested, and you can see Tim Monsman's very interested at the moment. He says, what can we do?
That's about as close to the ultimate do-over as you're going to have. The penalty took place on the 50-yard line. They started at the 40. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's kind of like, okay.
So it was 1st and 10 at the 40, and now it's 1st and 10 at the 40. But the only difference in that do-over, Steve, is there's no more 6 less points on the board.
Yep.
Conwell will go after it again, and Conwell will fight back close to the 50 once again before he's finally brought down. Pursa in on the tackle.
Actually, that's 33 Oliver Hawk, as Conwell was out for at least one play after that 60-yard run.
Brett Scheller's in there this time, number 35, and he's going to lay out it right here. Lay out a heck of a block right in there, and again, it's going to open up yet another hole.
A 9-yard gain for Hawk to the 49-yard line. 2nd down and 1 now coming up for the Panthers. 5:57 remaining 1st half. Upper St. Clair 19, Liberty 0. Quad A state championship. McShane under center. Conwell back in there. Actually, Hawk stays in there at the tailback spot, and McShane's going to run with it, and he'll get into Liberty territory, shoved out of bounds at about the 47-yard line.
Nice job by Jim Render after that long run. Not only did he take 23 Conwell out, but also the blocking fullback Applebaum, and he's got Schiller 35 replacing Applebaum and Hawk replacing Conwell. Those two guys are juniors. Great idea to get some playing time for kids who are going to be starting next year.
Talks also about the confidence you have in the depth of your
Sure.
team. Awful long way to run for a first down, but a well-conceived play to get it.
4 yards on the first carry of the night for McShane, but it's good for a first down. Everett stays in at fullback, and Conwell's back in at tailback, and Conwell causes a traffic jam in the backfield. Liberty standing him up. He does fall forward to the 45-yard line, pickup of 2.
Good job with the line of scrimmage that time by Liberty with the surge. As on the play, you're going to see number 54, Zachary Borgi, getting in there on the tackle.
2-yard pickup for Conwell. And you'll see the play one more time. And a much better job by Liberty that time of clogging some gaps. 2nd down and 8 for the Panthers. This time out of a broken eye. Applebaum back in there at the fullback spot. Play action fake from McShane. Looks to go downfield. Now he's going to run instead. He'll get to the 40 and try to sidestep his way to a first down. Going to be very close, depending on how long he stayed in bounds at the 37-yard line.
Dan Mulholland sustained his block and held on to it, and that's what allowed McShane to really get downfield that time on a little bit of a impromptu play. Now watch number 59 right here. He stays on his block right here the whole way, and by doing that, he now opens up the space right behind.
I'm not so sure that was impromptu, Gary, because if you watch some of the other blockers downfield, I don't think Jim Render's club releases downfield if it's a designed pass play. And McShane just rolled out a little bit, cut up sharply inside.
Now they go to a power backfield. 7-yard pickup for McShane, sets up a 3rd down and 1. And it's Everett, the fullback, who gets the call. They had both Applebaum and Everett, along with Conwell, in there. The two fullbacks, and Everett bowls his way forward for another Upper St. Clair first down.
Gets right in number 52, Ratsukaitis, who pushes right on through there, and you'll see him diving forward for the first down.
Actually, let me correct myself. That was Brett Scheller, number 35, is the fullback. You got Scheller and Applebaum are the two fullbacks. We've had Hawk, in addition to Conwell, at the two tailback spots.
Ratsukaitis, number 52, pancaked his guy that time off the left side.
And I believe it's Scheller again who gets the call on 1st and 10. Yep. He'll get maybe to the 25, maybe to the 24. After an 11-yard pickup, he picks up 3 more.
We talked about this offense being relentless on the ground, and a good indication of that is how quickly this first half is moving. We're coming up on 4 minutes left in the half, and it seems like they just started about 5 minutes ago.
Well, what happens here is they're keeping the Liberty defense on the field the whole first half, but I mean just pounding on the front of that line.
And as Steve said a moment ago, the longer this goes, the bigger the hole for Liberty. A defense of Upper St. Clair that has given up an average of 10.3 points per game on the season. Here comes a reverse and a fake reverse as McShane's going to keep it and throw. Looking for his tight end Shine, and coverage downfield. The Panther defenders, the Panther fans looking for a pass interference penalty. Nothing called. The defense, as Gary said, from Joe Orlando.
And Joe Orlando, Bob, just a great play on that. You want to watch super coverage, watch this. Orlando comes right over the top, bats the ball away. That was perfect defense.
Yeah, you don't draw that up any differently.
Dad taught you good.
I was just going to say, it helps to have a dad who played 9 years in the NFL.
There you go.
At least for technique purposes, anyway.
Dad taught him that in the backyard. 3rd down and 7 coming up for Upper St. Clair. McShane this time going to roll out. Is he going to keep it or is he going to throw it? He's going to dump it off to Conwell, to the 15, spins to the 10, to the 5, and finally brought down at the 4. Dane Conwell showing you why the Indiana Hoosiers want him to come to school there next fall.
I watched him in a film against Penn Hills, and he loves that play. He loves to come right to the line of scrimmage, and what he does, now watch this, he makes everybody come up like this, okay, and everybody's kind of all of a sudden watching for the run, and then look what he's got. A man open there at the last moment, just kind of say, okay, a little pitch and catch here, touchdown.
Showed the athletic ability, too, that also makes him a very fine point guard on the Upper St. Clair Panther basketball team. That was kind of an alley-oop pass.
Well, not quite a touchdown here, but the idea was, I think, that eventually.
He makes the catch And then the running back in him makes the spin to the 4-yard line. 20 yards on the pickup from Pat McShane to Dane Conwell. And 1st and goal to go coming up for Upper St. Clair following a Liberty timeout.
I always love the rollout quarterback because you always have options. And if you have a guy who knows where the line of scrimmage is well, can make that little jute toward the line, pull the defensive linebackers come up, you're in great shape.
Basketball season. Speaking of Dane Conwell being an outstanding basketball player, basketball season right around the corner here on PCN. We'll be there starting in January with our high school game of the week. Our regular season coverage will culminate in March with the PIAA Championships live from State College. Check out our website for more information, PCNTV.com. Again, the basketball schedule, the regular season basketball schedule will be released on our website, PCNTV.com, in the next couple of days.
Talking about athletic quarterbacks that can roll out, one of the reasons that they roll Pat McShane out so much is that he's not the tallest guy in the world at 5'10", but by moving him one way or the other, it really gets him in better lines of sight.
1st and goal, they'll give it to Conwell. Conwell will fight and get the touchdown. So Conwell had his 3rd touchdown taken away by a holding penalty, but he gets it back here, this one from 4 yards out.
What you're going to see here is a great block by Sequoia, number 68, right along the line of scrimmage. And Dan Mulholland as well comes over. And they are going to seal inside to the right. And there you see the look on the other side. Watch this, right here. You're seeing 2 great blocks to the inside. A block right here by his fullback who's been doing it all night long. And here's what you're going to get at the end of that.
And a little bit of oomph by Mr. Conwell at the goal line.
Extra point coming up from Romanis. And again, Romanis is going to take out lights on that scoreboard the way he's going after it right now. 3 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the first half. The score now, Upper St. Clair 26 and Liberty
Take a
nothing.
look again. Now here's one block here. Now watch this. You're going to come in and see a seal right there. And then you're going to see a block right out here. Go ahead. And now what you see is that. That's what you want to see at the end with good blocking and the touchdown to finish it off. Here you see it from another angle. Number 37 all night. I'll tell you what, you want to talk about backs having the ability to block, Steve. Neil Applebaum is going to get a big, big star at the end of the night, doing all the unmentionables.
And we've talked about this offense not being, I don't know, fancy schmancy or full of bells and whistles. One of the constants is, regardless of which side they run on, they're going to send Applebaum to try and seal that outside contain and open up that little hole. We've seen it all night long.
There's a credo this team has: line up, hit you, repeat. Line up, hit you, repeat, again and again, over and over. Dane Conwell tonight has been doing exactly that. 15 carries, 92 yards, 6.2 yards a carry, and 3 TDs. And ladies and gentlemen, we have 3:21 to go in the second quarter.
And if you got a chance to take a look at the end of that play, Dane Conwell, as Steve said, running over people as he got to the goal line. The guy he ran over was Dan Persa, and Persa was kind of wincing a little bit and holding either his hip or his thigh while he was laying on the ground. So something maybe we want to take a look at when the Liberty offense comes back out on the field. Romansky right now will, or excuse me, Romanis will kick off for Upper St. Clair. And Justin Rivera will field it at his own 7-yard line. To the 20, to the 25, and to about the 28 before he's wrapped up. And we'll watch this again. Here's where Conwell hits him, and there you see Persis just go backwards.
Right on the shoulder and then on the back.
And then everybody lands on him, yeah.
I'll tell you what, you talk about 2 hits on the same play. Person, by the way, heading off next year to Evanston, Illinois. Hey, there you see Andy, our producer down there. There he is, Corey Clark. the ubiquitous one. And Andy, look at Andy. Doesn't he look good? He has the Christmas colors on. He's got the Christmas T-shirt.
I was going to say it's our brain trust, and then I thought better of it. By the way, 5 3 and outs for Liberty. This is their 6th possession.
Again, out of the shotgun. Mamuzic will stay in the backfield with Persa. And this time they try to go with that quick slant pass to Joe Orlando, but it is an incomplete pass instead, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Here you see Orlando now coming on the quick down and in, but again, maybe just a little bit too mustard on that one. Too much mustard on that one.
And even when they just rush traditionally, Liberty's keeping Mamuzic in, or Mamazic in, so that he can guard against Persa.
You say Mamazic, I say Mamuzic. And for the Mamuzic family, there you go.
But it will be, just so we know, it is Mamuzic. And for what it's worth, 4 sacks in the game for Upper St. Clair. And Persa's going to keep it this time. Not going to get much, maybe to the 30, and that's about it. We'll call it the 29 to be exact. Gain of 2, 3rd and 8.
Take a look here again, and not a lot of running room there, as you can see, and shedding the block one more time, number 59, Dan Mulholland, and someone losing a helmet down there on the bottom as well.
Left guard Joe Luther lost his helmet. And a timeout called on the field with 2 minutes and 48 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I like the timeout because you really have to find an answer. You don't want to give the ball back to Upper St. Clair. It'll be with about 2.5 minutes left in the first half. You're already down 26, and you haven't been able to muster any kind of offense.
Actually, Steve, it was Upper St. Clair that called the timeout. So that's why, as opposed to Liberty calling the timeout, Upper St. Clair thinking, let's try and get the football back.
It has been a perfect effort so far by Upper St. Clair. By the way, you talk about Upper St. Clair. Do you know where the school gets its name, guys? Actually,
no, I don't.
Revolutionary War financier and early U.S. Congressman Arthur St. Clair, who received a massive land grant in western Pennsylvania for his help in the War for Independence. Now, the other school, named after Upper St. Clair out in your area, also won a WPIAA title.
Is Clairton.
There's Clairton. There you go.
We head down to the sidelines. Mike Krause catching up with victorious head coach Brett Comp, who won the AA game this afternoon.
Brett, now there was a critical part at the end of the half where you had that timeouts and then you decide to make some critical decisions. Do you reflect on that a little bit?
Yeah, you know, it takes me a while to reflect on everything. A lot of it really hasn't sunk in yet, but the timeout that you're referring to, the timeout that Jeanette took for our field goal, I think, is that the...
Well, you took the timeout on defense first, taking that risk down here with the clock and possibly going out, and then the timeout with Jeanette.
Oh, yeah, I really don't know what was on their minds or anything like that, but if you're referring to the field goal, is that the...
Yes.
Okay, yeah. There's 2 seconds left on the clock, and for whatever reason, we're going to have to snap the ball immediately once they put the ball in play. 3 points is pretty critical at that point, obviously, in a 1-point win. For whatever reason, they called a timeout. I don't know why that was. Maybe they were thinking we were going to fake it. Maybe I really don't know. You'd have to ask Ray that question, but it ends up paying off for us. We could be a little more leisurely about doing things, and Mike did a great job of putting it through the uprights.
Now we have you here for the 4A game. You're in support of your buddy Tim Moxman?
Yes, absolutely. Things aren't going real well right now, I know, but I have a feeling Liberty's going to go into half and make some adjustments. They just need to generate a little momentum right now. I think they'll be okay.
Thanks, Brett. The eternal optimist, and congratulations, and enjoy that championship.
And the deficit just got a little bit worse as Dan Pursa has his pass intercepted. Pat McShane comes up with the pick.
Here's a film you want to watch right here if you want to see how to play man-to-man defense on the outside. You're going to see Pursa on the rollout. McShane anticipating it the whole way, had it scouted out, and he is just going to be one step ahead of his counterpart on the other side. Watch this. Coming out on the outside, here's McShane. Now watch him step up. Right here, he sees it, he anticipates it. He's one step ahead of the play.
And so the timeout by Jim Render pays off. With 2:40 remaining in the first half, Upper St. Clair not only gets the ball back, but they do so in great field position at the Liberty 33-yard line.
Yeah, it was a pretty good throw. That defensive play looks better and better the more times you watch it.
This time McShane is in trouble in the backfield. He's going to get wrapped up and thrown to the ground by Mamuzic.
Mamuzic doing a great job of never saying die and staying in the pursuit there of McShane, and a huge loss on the play for Upper St. Clair.
Back to the 47-yard line, a loss of 14 on the play.
There's Mamuzic coming through, kind of a delayed blitz that time, Steve, to get to him.
Yeah, not just him. Joe Luther was in there. Great pressure. That was as good a pressure as Liberty has mounted from their defensive front all evening long.
Maybe the defense can start to get some of that transferred over to their offensive side of things.
Clock now ticks inside of 2 minutes remaining. Second down now coming up, and they'll keep it on the ground with Conwell. Conwell will cut it outside. Penalty flags come down as he does cut upfield to the 40-yard line.
They're going to get him for holding along the line that time.
So the best laid plans once again don't work out for Jim Render. And
there's the look.
There's the reaction most coaches have when he knows a holding penalty is coming up against his team.
Yeah, you're thinking, oh, man. Jim Render's a guy like any coach. Your guy likes perfection.
Do you take this penalty or do you decline it? Because they're still facing, it'd be third down and a bazillion.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty, Repeat second down.
Well, that's a great point. If you have thoughts of getting it back, you don't want to hand another play to him here. Right now, it's 3rd down and Derry Township here at Hershey.
Back to the 44-yard line.
Here you're talking about Brett Comp and Tim Munchman. They communicate weekly by email during the course of the season. They've become pretty good friends, although it didn't start that way. Two of them kind of had a little bit of a, when they were first coached against each other, a little bit of problem with some film exchange. They thought each one was holding out. Turned out it wasn't the way it was. They became fairly decent friends over the years.
By my calculations, I got 2nd down and 31, which is pretty much, as Gary said, Derry Township. Conwell keeps it on the ground, picks up a yard, maybe 2 to the 45, to the 46, and it'll bring up 3rd and only 29 now.
And they're going to kick right now.
Yep.
The old quick kick on 3rd down.
Kind of interesting right here. You're going to let this clock go down. I'm not sure we're going to see a kick here right away.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here we are.
Oh, and a
what
good
a
one.
boom.
Oh. And it stops and hits at the 5 and bounces out of bounds at the 2. Talk about your play of the game. Ben Frodden, the punter, just made a spectacular special teams play.
Boy, when it's going
54-yard punt.
When it's going right, it's going right, and every bound's going against that guy right now and his team, Tim Munchman. I mean, that was just a gorgeous spiral. That's where you draw it up, and then it goes out about the 1.5. Watch the technique. Great job of just holding it slight angle. Look at this, and then hits, and the little English to the right. And bounces just out of bounds, and oh, yeah, I know. It's been like that all night long.
54-yard punt by Ben Frodden. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
And now you got to play it pretty conservative here to end the half if you're Liberty.
They will do that as they will keep it on the ground. Akeem Smith will get the call, and Akeem Smith will get maybe 2, and that's it.
Hey, what if I'm Liberty right here? I'm taking a knee. Seriously, you get out of here, you know, it's not the score you want right now, but it could be worse in a hurry with one little handoff problem.
Well, they'll have to take 2 because there's about 5 seconds between the game clock and the play clock.
You might have to get a little yardage before taking a knee. Right now, they take a knee, they might be in the end zone.
No, actually, they can do it now.
We got to get a package tonight on Jim Render's different looks. I mean, he's got like about 3 or 4 different looks, and
neither one of them are happy.
I haven't seen a smile yet tonight.
You might not see that until the game comes to an end if he comes away with a gold medal. And that will be the final play as Percival just keep it on the ground, maybe pick up a yard, and that's about it. And the first half belongs to the Upper St. Clair Panthers in a dominating way. Upper St. Clair scored early. They scored a number of different ways, including defensively, and they come up with a 26-point difference on the scoreboard. At the end of the first half, it's Upper St. Clair 26, Bethlehem Liberty nothing. We'll remind you to stick around. Coming up at halftime, Mike Zambelli and Jim Wills will take you through first half highlights and some numbers as well. Again, at the break of the Quad A State Championship, Upper St. Clair on top of Liberty by a score of 26-0 on Pennsylvania's Championship Network, PCN.
When it came time to think about college for our son, we felt kind of torn.
We were excited for him, but it's a lot of money, and we didn't know where it would come from.
Then PIAA came into the picture.
That's the Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency. They have easy planning tools, free money.
Like grants and scholarships and low-cost student loans.
PIAA helped make our dreams come true.
That's our son, the college graduate.
PIAA, a constant and growing resource for Pennsylvania.
You're watching PCN. PCN is supported in part by Comcast. PCN, only on cable. Get your VHS or DVD of this PIAA championship. Visit our website at pcntv.com or call toll-free 1-866-PCN-VIDEO. All championships are $29.95, including shipping and sales tax. The State Farm Show has something for everybody. Which event are you better suited for? Trying to hold on for just a few pulse-pounding seconds to a frenzied, ground-shaking 1,800-pound bull? Or maybe you prefer a contest where you weave sheep's wool into a colorful shawl. Whichever you prefer, you'll find both events and everything in between during Farm Show Week, beginning January 6th on PCN. Only on cable. Pennsylvania has many faces. PCN brings them all together. PCN, a television network for Pennsylvanians. Only on cable. Need a gift idea? How about a PCN tour or a Gettysburg Battle Walk for the holidays? If the person on your list likes manufacturing or following in the footsteps of Civil War soldiers, go online and visit the PCN store for a list of tours and battle walks you can buy on VHS or DVD. And now you can preview parts of our most popular programs before you buy. Shop at the PCN store at PCNTV.com or call 1-866-PCN-VIDEO. PCN tours can be watched at your desk or on the go too. Just visit PCNTV.com. Click on PCN Online and watch tours at the usual times during the week. Or click on Podcasts and download a tour and watch it anytime you want on your computer or your video iPod. Get PCN tours the way you want them, on cable, online, or on your iPod.
At this time of year, you have to put some more thought into getting around safely in your car. And if you're traveling around Pennsylvania, you need more than a local forecast to help you make plans. That's where Weather World comes in. The team at Weather World brings their years of experience together to tell you about weather conditions all over the state every weekday. Weather World, weekdays at 5:45 p.m. on PCN, only on cable.
Pennsylvania's championship network, PCN, carrying the fourth and final championship game this weekend. From Hersheypark Stadium, we welcome you back here at the half to Upper St. Clair. The Panthers shutting out the Liberty Hurricanes 26-0 as we welcome you back here at the half. Mike Zambelli joined by Jim Wills. No way to sugarcoat this one, Jim. This has been a dominating performance by Upper St. Clair. They hold a Liberty football team without a first down in that first half. This is a team that has gone 6 straight games, scoring 35 or more points. Domination from the Panthers.
No question about it, Mike. The defense has done an outstanding job. They've kept him at bay. They really didn't let him get across midfield. You know, McShane coming in with 1,200 yards, Conwell coming in with 1,400 yards, and their defense living up to the hype, only giving up 76 yards in the postseason. They have done everything right, and Liberty hasn't been able to establish any offense whatsoever.
Special teams also playing a part of it. You look at that first half, it was played entirely on the half of Liberty High School. Field position in big favor for the Panthers.
No question about it. The block punt, a lot of things went in their favor. They came out, they stopped them on that first drive, and that's when you knew that. That's when being here last year has an advantage on that first drive if you score. If you don't score, then it's even Steven, and they took advantage, scored on that first drive, and ever since then, they have dominated.
Let's take a look at our scoring in the first half, and of course, it all goes to the Panthers, and of course, Dane Conwell, who's already verbally committed to the University of Indiana. They're going to get a good football player, Jim.
Oh, no question about it. He's done everything asked of him. There you see the field goal by Romanis. Another thing that they were stopped, but they still got a field goal, and you're going to see Conwell again rumbling into the end zone. He came in there this year, you know, with a lot of yards, 1,433 yards, and I'll tell you what, he's just done a tremendous job of doing what they needed to have done, and that's get the ball in the end zone.
Well, we're going to take a look at a 15-0 regular season schedule for the Upper St. Clair. They call them USC. They play the fight song on a number of occasions, averaging 30.7 points per game, giving up a meager 10.3. And is Liberty in trouble in this second half? Well, the numbers would say so. Only on one occasion has this defense given up more than 2 scores in a game that was last week when they beat State College 28-20.
Well, you look at the last part of that schedule, Mike. Penn Hills was a great game in the Whipple, and then 18-12. And then they had that State College game last week. Smart play, took that 60-yard punt with Taylor Everett, picked it up. You know, they've done everything right. They've been opportunistic, and they've done everything right in this first half, that's for sure.
WPIAL Class A 4A Great Southern Conference champions. And, of course, in there is McKeesport, last year's 4A state champ.
And they had a great game against them this year and did a good job against them, you know, and that's the thing. They beat them 28-14 in a that's when people knew that they turned the corner and were going to come out on top in the league when they beat McKeesport early in the season.
For the Liberty Hurricanes, making back-to-back appearances in this state championship game, just one setback. It came in week number 6 against Bethlehem Catholic, their arch rivals, 21-20 in overtime. But again, look at the offensive numbers. To think that this offense has been shut down in this first half is a big credit, not just to the defense, but the coaching staff under Jim Render as well.
Oh, you can say that again, Mike. The coaching staff has done an outstanding job. Their defensive scheme has come up and really stopped. And look at those numbers there. You know, they started with, Delaware Valley with 42 and Abington Heights with 42, and then a tough Pennsbury team last year to put up 45 in that 4 overtime game last week. You would think that offense wouldn't be the problem coming in here tonight, but it certainly has been for the Hurricanes.
Yeah, you mentioned that game with the Falcons last week. Of course, 4 overtimes, a PIAA playoff legendary game that you'll talk about for years. We take a look at the Lehigh Valley Conference, and again, state champs up and down the board. Parkland, which won this league championship this year, 9-0, the 2002 4A state champs. You move your way down there. Bethlehem Catholic is a 2-time state champion, as is Central Catholic. A little bit of a scheduling quirk. It's a 12-member league. Liberty and Parkland did not play at all this year. The Trojans were knocked out of the district tournament by Easton, of course.
And then you see there Liberty at 8-1, but had to play Easton twice, Mike. Easton ends up at 8-1 once and beat Easton both times in order to get that opportunity to claim that district gold. And as you said, it was a shame they just didn't get to play Parkland, as Parkland finishes at 9-0. But the league schedule came out that way. But I'll tell you, it's been a great season so far. Second trip here for the Hurricanes, but the same result as last year so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at some more highlights now in this first half. And of course, offensively, you know, when you talk offense, it's going to come from the guys wearing the black uniform. I think, Jim, we center on these guys like Conwell and McShane, the quarterback. Look at the way their offensive line gets into people and drives people off that line of scrimmage. They have been a treat to watch in this first half.
Well, that's where this game has been won. You're looking at Taylor Everett there getting the ball from the quarterback, McShane, but I'll tell you what, this guy wouldn't have the opportunity right here to make those runs, Conwell that is, without the opportunity of the offensive line. Even on a simple screen pass out to the rollout pass to the right, they're getting great protection. McShane able to just dump that pass over and get an offensive opportunity. On the other hand, defensively, they have boxed up Dan Persa like no other team has done, and there's a special teams play with the block punt once again. As you see, number 11 coming in there, that's Matt Schmoyer coming in there for the block.
Well, what if you're Tim Muntzman, you know him quite well. What can you say to your football team in half here?
Well, you got to appeal to their pride. Say, we've been here before. This is your second trip. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You got to go out here and play the second half on pride. You got to establish. They got to get something offensively. Get the chains to move at least a couple times. Get some momentum, because there's been times in this game where defensively they haven't played bad.
Well, for Jim Render, could be half away from a state championship. We'll step aside. Bob, Gary, and Steve will take you through the second half. You're watching the championship on PCN. Stay with us.
Coaching, caring, inspiring, teaching. Every day, APSCUF faculty and coaches of the 14 state system universities are making the difference in the lives of students.
You're a mentor, you're a friend, you're a teacher, and I think the last thing you do is coach.
My overall mission is certainly the student athlete. Their experience in athletics definitely affects their performance in the classroom.
Committed, dedicated, APSCUF, Pennsylvania's own state system faculty.
You're watching PCN. PCN is supported in part by Service Electric Cablevision. PCN, only on cable. Get your VHS or DVD of this PIAA championship. Visit our website at pcntv.com or call toll-free 1-866-PCN-VIDEO. All championships are $29.95, including shipping and sales tax. The State Farm Show has something for everybody. Which event are you better suited for? Trying to hold on for just a few pulse-pounding seconds to a frenzied, ground-shaking 1,800-pound bull? Or maybe you prefer a contest where you weave sheep's wool into a colorful shawl? Whichever you prefer, you'll find both events and everything in between during Farm Show Week, beginning January 6th on PCN. Only on cable. America's manufacturing is all over the globe these days. But look at Pennsylvania. Lots of the things you see and use every day are still being produced right here. PCN Tours takes you inside Pennsylvania's factories to show you how things are made. Your guide from the company will walk you through the whole process, from raw materials to the finished product. PCN Tours, Sundays at 8 p.m. on PCN, only on cable. Pennsylvania has many faces. PCN brings them all together. PCN, a television network for Pennsylvanians, only on cable. Mettle, quality of disposition, vigor and strength of spirit, stamina. Their mettle is tested here. Watch the state's best high school athletes compete in the PIAA Finals on PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network. High school sports, PIAA Finals on PCN, only on cable.
At this time of year, you have to put some more thought into getting around safely in your car. And if you're traveling around Pennsylvania, you need more than a local forecast to help you make plans. That's where Weather World comes in. The team at Weather World brings their years of experience together to tell you about weather conditions all over the state every weekday. Weather World, weekdays at 5:45 p.m. on PCN, only on cable.
Back at Hersheypark Stadium, Quad A state final. Upper St. Clair on top of Liberty by a score of 26-0. Welcome back, everyone. Bob McCool, Gary Sutton, Steve Bowen with you at Quad A state final, 26-0 Upper St. Clair. And Steve Bowen, we talked about before the game that this Upper St. Clair team was a little bit more towards efficient more than spectacular. Well, first half they were efficient and spectacular.
They were spectacularly efficient in that first half. And as advertised, all they're doing is running the football. They're running it left, right, up the middle. They're not running necessarily the same plays, but boy, this offensive line is so precise blocking tonight that, and the fullback as well, Applebaum, it really makes for a nice package for Jim Render. He can call just about any play in his running game right now, and it's going to work.
And they have done a number of different things, and it was all Dane Conwell early on. And Dane Conwell and company started with the touchdown run, and that just got things going for Upper St. Clair.
Well, you see Dane Conwell dancing through the aforesaid holes that have been opened up for that offensive line all night long. And that was just one example there. And you can see Conwell says, yeah, I like this. And then you see the special teams getting in there and blocking. As you see number 11 getting in and blocking the punt that time. That was Matt Schmoyer. And then you see the good passing as well when they need to do it. The extra point that goes off the scoreboard every single time. And then take a look here. Actually, it was a field goal that time. But look at the holes. That's what we were talking about. Conwell again for yet another touchdown. And now McShane's showing you how to run. You see the linebackers come up, throw it off to Conwell, and then finish it off again with yet another touchdown, dancing to the end zone. An absolutely surgical first half by Upper St. Clair, and a scintillating 26-0 lead as it was sculpted out throughout the entire first 2 quarters.
And you take a look at some numbers in this first half, and the numbers for the Hurricanes are just flat out ugly. They did not pick up a first down in that first half. Just 33 total yards on the offensive side. Upper St. Clair, as we said, did a little bit of everything, including some very efficient passing from Pat McShane, and that's pretty much what he does. 3 for 5, 46 yards, but they were all first down pickups in each and every one of those 3 complete passes.
You look at that, nothing out of 6 on third down. You got to focus on that. I mean, this team just absolutely took away everything that Liberty wanted to try to do. They played zone, they played man-to-man. That defensive backfield, I'm telling you what, linebackers, the corners, and the safeties took away everything in that entire first half that Liberty wanted to see.
Upper St. Clair is one of those teams that when we get together and try and pick out a player because we have to focus on, but this is absolutely positively as much of a team effort, and Gary, you mentioned it, I think especially on the defensive end, they have the guys up front who are doing a nice rush job. They don't have to run any real iffy schemes defensively. They can play their package and just keep it right there.
No question about it. And now they're in a position second half where they can pretty much start to just keep on grounding it out, make the clock their friend. It's 26-0. And Wilson just trying to find something. When was the last time you went through a half with no first downs?
That's exactly what happened. On the other side of the coin, Upper St. Clair with 11 first downs. The Hurricanes and Tim Monsman looking for their first down of this football game. And Upper St. Clair, for what it's worth, will get the football to start the second half.
Reminds me of a basketball game I did a couple of years ago, Gary, and at halftime the score was 28-0, and someone, the guy I was doing the game with, asked me, "What do you tell your team?" I said, "Well, first of all, score, and then and then go from there." I think Tim Munchman's kind of in that situation. 6 straight 3-and-outs. They've only got 33 total yards, and everything that they've tried has just fallen flat on its face.
Well, I remember a game one time, the end of 3 quarters, I heard where a team was losing, and they got in the huddle at the end of the 3rd quarter, and the one coach said to the kid, you realize whoever scores this game is going to be the high scorer for us. It's just a thought, But that's kind of, for Tim Monsman right now, and this is like watching, I think I was like the Chicago Bears back in like 85, was it? When they just dominated New England, and it was just like undressing you in public, everything you do. And this is a very, 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 very good football team we're looking at here. It's back here 2 years in a row. That's not chopped liver. And when you watch a super team even go above that, as Upper St. Clair is doing tonight, it's amazing to watch. And the defensive effort here this evening, if you like defense, has been just absolutely superb. And if you like blocking, it's been even better.
And if you want to continue enjoying the PIAA football championships, as well as all the other high school sports on PCN, be sure to call your cable company and tell them thanks, keeping PCN on their system. High school football on PCN, high school basketball right around the corner as the calendar turns from December to January. High school basketball begins with the game of the week on Friday nights, and then wrestling on Saturday nights, and of course leading up to the championships. And perhaps the first big break of the game on the kick return. I think the football has come loose. Liberty's celebrating as if they've gotten the recovery, but no signal as of yet. It will stay Upper St. Clair football.
Yeah, I think it was just, it was a celebration of a really fine hit by number 22 for Liberty, and that's Akeem Smith.
We check in with the 4th member of our crew, and that is, of course, on the sidelines, Mike Krause.
I had a chance to talk with Jim Render, and I asked him about his offense. He said, for the second half, we're going to score. And I asked, what about his defense? He said, we're quick. When I talked with Coach Monksman, just what Jim Wills had mentioned, they made a couple of mistakes. They got to make sure that right now it's all about pride. Play with pride, see if it makes a difference.
Jim Render, a man of few words, but they're usually pretty precise, and his team is just that as well. Conwell taking it out across the 40-yard line, a first down pickup for Dane Conwell on his first carry of the second half.
Yeah, just a little toss sweep, and I mean, not little, but watch the blocking again. The lead fullback doesn't do much there, but boy, up front, the big guys did a lot.
There really wasn't great blocking that time. It just was a matter of he just kind of outran the blocking and got the first down.
12 first downs in the football game for Upper St. Clair, 9 of them on the ground. Again, out of the I formation, Applebaum is the fullback, and Conwell is the tailback. And Conwell gets contact at about the 45, lowers his shoulder and gets another 3, maybe 4 more to the 49.
Well, again, you're going to see number 59 down there, Mulholland, and you're also going to see number 37. Look at him one more time. That's Neil Applebaum. I'm telling you, if I was given an MVP tonight, Neil, here's 59 back there, and then you can see Applebaum right in there, putting the block out, and then right on ahead, diving down again. Big chunks of yardage. Second down and only 2 yards to go.
Radzakainis as well blocking downfield.
And now Upper St. Clair shows a full house backfield. Now they shift out of that into a broken eye instead. They'll run the inside reverse to Chrisis. Chrisis with a little bit of room that closes quickly in Liberty territory at the 45-yard line. It'll be another Upper St. Clair first down.
Again, coming to the strong side here, you're going to see some great blocking. Watch the blocking along the line right there. The seal block to the inside, you can see it right there. And then again, the action coming back this way with the reversal, and you just see everybody putting on a body somewhere, and that's what you want to do on blocks. Everybody's got to have body on body, sustain it, and push it down the field.
We see there 52 Radzakainis again, pulling and then sealing inside and allowing for Chrisis to make the cut.
They've run that play twice. The first one from Chrisis was 25 yards. This one was for 6. This time, Applebaum gets his hands on the football. As Gary said, he's been the blocking back most of the night. That's his first carry. As we take a look at our map of the state of Pennsylvania, an indication as to where these two teams from. Of course, Upper St. Clair, the WPIAL champion, just south of Pittsburgh, and the District 11 champion, Liberty Hurricanes from Bethlehem.
A couple of good old-fashioned work towns in the state of Pennsylvania.
Very close to the same latitude line, too, I noticed, Steve.
Applebaum gets 3 yards. I'm not sure what that latitude line was that he ran forward on, but this time it'll be Conwell who will run forward to about the 40-yard line to bring up third down and about 5 for the Panthers.
It's actually latitude. We had an argument from downstairs. The latitude line goes east and west, longitude, north and south.
Don't argue with the truck.
No, I'm like a geographical nut.
2 runs.
The nut part we know.
Yeah, thank you.
2 runs here on this particular series. 3 yards, 2 yards. Doesn't sound like much, but they're, again, pounding away and pounding away and pounding away.
That's all you want to do. When you have the ball, they don't. And that's right now your defense is playing offense.
Conwell on 3rd and 5 is going to get 3, maybe 4 on a second effort.
Dan Mulholland, the right tackle, again, opening up a huge hole off that right side. As again, it's Applebaum diving through here.
Braxton Isaac, number 83, and Joe Luther, 78.
Right there. There you see again, it's Mulholland pushing to the inside, and you're going to see the move right here into this hole.
And it's going to set up a 4th down and 1 for Upper St. Clair. At the 36-yard line, Jim Render will leave his offense out there and go for it on 4th and 1. Liberty faithful across the way trying to rally their team right now. Conwell gets hit, and I don't know that he got it.
It's going to depend on the spot. The ball came down on the line. If they put it where the ball came down, he's got the first down. If they mark it back anywhere at all, it's going to be short of the first down. As we saw the tackle made by number 7, Dan Person.
Quarterback, strong safety, and boom, there comes Persa. And talk about taking the runner's legs out from under him.
He's got the first down, I think, by the nose of the ball. See where the ball came down? Right on the line, and that's where they have it marked. The nose of the ball is just grazing that line. Watch again. Boy, Persa just did a great job. And there's, you see the ball comes down right there.
And right there, Dane Conwell's nose is grazing the line after that tackle from Persa. Great job by Persa.
That was an outstanding play by Dan Persa.
The way things are going for Upper St. Clair tonight, is there any question on this?
Not so far. Well, maybe the second half is a new life for the Liberty Hurricanes. It is. Just inches short.
Oh, man, I'll tell you, there's no more than a link or 2 separating them for the first down. Big play by Persa, and a big play to get a little momentum here as you see the Liberty faithful on the far side waving the white flags and saying, hey, maybe we can get something going here.
So Persa makes the play on defense. Jim Render not happy with the spot, to say the least. Tim Monsman hoping that now Dan Persa can get something going on offense.
I'll tell you what, he might be up by 26 points, but coaches are a strange lot, and we know that things can turn around in a big hurry And Render is coaching every play in this game, even up 26-0.
Mamuzic and Smith in the backfield alongside of Persa. Persa this time on the toss to Smith, and Smith is going to get stopped initially by number 88, Taylor Everett, and then wrapped up and dropped in the backfield by Shine.
You want to talk about discipline defensively here. Taylor Everett staying home like he knew exactly the play that was coming. You're going to see the option run. Now watch, right here. Here's 88 staying home. He doesn't quite get him, but he slows him down enough that he get a little help from his friends later on, and Mulholland's going to help to finish him off. Along with, who's that, number 87, Shine?
There's Everett coming through. He slows him down.
Yeah, here's Shine right there. Just kind of got pushed into him.
He gets blocked into him, actually, and he'll take the credit for the tackle, no problem. Loss of 8 on the play, 2nd and 18. This time, Persa wants to roll out. Under a rush from Everett, and there it comes again. Boy, 88's been everywhere tonight.
And one of the things that I think Liberty is still not able to understand is the speed of this defense by Upper St. Clair. They hear, oh, they're the big road grinders, and they're the team that goes north and south all the time.
Look at 88 right here. Just throws a defender off and sheds him, and then goes and gets the tackle and forces the fumble as well.
So the football at the bottom of the pile came out, and on the recovery was Ramsey Lesnett, the linebacker. So Everett gets the sack, Lesnett gets the recovery, and Upper St. Clair gets the football. 1st and 10 at the Liberty 19-yard line.
That 4th down stop now seems like a bit of a Pyrrhic victory for Liberty after a really strong defensive series by Upper St. Clair.
Upper St. Clair had the football 3 times in Liberty territory to start drives. This is the 4th of the game. The pass complete to Shine. They're going to mark him down at the goal line, I believe. The officials are going to call for it. Talk to one another right now. I believe one thought he was down, another thought he was in.
They faked the dive, and everybody bought in on it. And right there, well,
nice
his body's down, good spot.
Yep.
The ball just came down on this side of the line. Good job by the official.
That's a real nice spot.
Watch here, what happened? Stop there. There's a man diving in. Everybody's buying the fake. Everybody's caught standing. And then what you have, rolling right in here, he's going to be wide open for the pass. That was, again, David Shine, who's been a star defensively and now offensively tonight, too.
And now 1st and goal from the 1-yard line for Upper St. Clair, and Conwell will take it home for his 4th score of the night.
Right now, Upper St. Clair just beating on that line of Liberty, and you got to sense that some of the steam coming out of Liberty at the moment. It's a tough time here, beginning of the 3rd quarter with another drive. Hey, you saw a smile there from Jim Render. Holy cow.
With the numbers that Dan Persa came into this game with, I'm really surprised that even, at the point that it was like 19-0, that they didn't start throwing the football a little bit more. Give credit again to that Upper St. Clair defense, has just done outstanding work all night.
Last time he hit the colon with his extra point. Let's see how close he gets this time.
Kick splits the uprights. That's not the problem. He hits the bottom of the building this time. He let up a little bit. 7 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. Upper St. Clair and Jim Render's team right now extends their lead. The score, Upper St. Clair 33 and Liberty nothing. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more from Hersheypark Stadium in the Class Quad A State Championship game after this on the Pennsylvania Cable Network.
Hey man, what's up?
I'm paying it back.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm paying it back.
Join thousands of people who use UPromise to pay back their PIAA AES student loans. And the best part is, you don't have to spend an extra cent. Just buy the stuff you buy anyway, and a portion goes to pay back your loans.
We're paying it back. I'm helping my niece. Pay it back.
Just go to payingitback.com to get started and pay back your student loan faster. Another free benefit for Pennsylvania families from PIAA.
In all the world, there are a select few who at their very core are capable of incredible transformation. Under the most grueling conditions, they are shaped, hardened, sharpened, ready to stand among the most elite of all warriors, the few, the proud, the Marines.
with 7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Upper St. Clair extending their lead to 33-0. Liberty Hurricanes hoping that somehow or another they can make something happen as Justin Rivera and Oscar Rivera will drop back deep to return the kick from Alex Romanis. There is Conwell, who's had a great night tonight, 120-plus yards rushing and 4 touchdowns.
This is a Liberty team that's averaged over 370 total yards a game this year, 240 on the ground, 139 in the air, and they've been held without a first down tonight, which is absolutely incredible.
Akeem Smith ends up returning the kick for Liberty, and he'll get to about the 25-yard line, and that's it. The special teams tackle well as for Upper St. Clair also.
And again, having Liberty running east and west instead of north and south here, and that talks about the quickness of this Upper St. Clair team in every facet of the game so far tonight, as they have dominated from start to this point in the game.
Grant Candabarro with the tackle on special teams for Upper St. Clair. 1st and 10 for Liberty from their own 25-yard line. This time going out of an I formation. They'll give it to the fullback, Mamuzic, and he's hit behind the line of scrimmage. Talk about surge. Upper St. Clair won that battle.
That was Brett Scheller, 35, who got the first hit from his linebacker spot.
Take a look right here, and everybody's up on the line, and you're going to see Schiller coming in right there, coming through, and no one's going to put a glove on him, and you're going to see him stand right up there on the line, on the runner, straight in. Great job that time by number 35, Brett Scheller. You'll see it again. Right on through, nobody touches him, and just straight on down.
On 2nd down and 12, again, Liberty having some trouble in the backfield.
Flag down on the play.
Persa on the bottom of the pile.
We're seeing over there along the line right now, number 13, Christian Rodriguez throwing a little bit. I don't know if he's planning on warming up to get in the game or not, or if there's something wrong with Persa at this point. Remember, he did get hit there on that play we saw with the shoulder in the back in the first half, and who knows.
Christian Rodriguez, 6 foot, 175-pound sophomore, getting the arm warmed up on the sidelines. Let's head down to the sidelines, check in with Mike Krause.
Gary, the last offensive series when Persa came over to the sideline, he was moving a little gingerly as he was coming off the field. He was a little frustrated, but right now, as you mentioned, that on the sideline, Christian Rodriguez, the sophomore 6-footer, throwing the ball a little bit in case there could be a call, or even if the gap gets too big, get some experience out there for next year.
3rd down, and we'll call it 12 coming up for Persa and the Hurricanes. Akeem Smith goes in motion out of the backfield. Persa this time trying to get the quick hitter and make something happen. Joe Orlando makes the catch. He'll get to about the 32. Not enough for a first down yet for Liberty.
Great coverage that time by Pat McShane on that quick slant. Really not allowing, after the pass was completed, any yards after the catch.
Well, it's a nice route down and in here, but it's short of the first down. You got to make sure you get to that first down marker before you let that one go. So not a play designed to get a first down. Again, they come to 4th down here, and they got to kick it away.
First downs are uncharted territory as of yet for Liberty. And a high short kick coming up this time by Mamuzic, and it hits, and Upper St. Clair will get pretty good field position as it trickles out of bounds at about the 44-yard line.
You try to, if you're Liberty right now and your coach Tim Monsman, you can see him over the side, he's trying to figure out something right now to get going, and just, it's amazing. They've been stymied in every single thing they've wanted to do tonight in this game, and it's like Upper St. Clair, someone stole the playbook, and it's got every play that they've got in their arsenal.
This is a Liberty team that averages offensively 40-plus points a game coming in, and again, not only don't they have any points, they don't even have a first down as of yet. 5:37 remaining 3rd quarter, 33-0 Upper St. Clair on top. Play action fake, but McShane is going to keep it. Design quarterback keeper breaks a tackle. Will get out to about the 49-yard line before he's wrapped up. Oscar Rivera on the tackle for Liberty.
There's a flag down at the end of the play, and that usually means some sort of a personal foul. We don't know who it's on yet.
In the backfield of Upper St. Clair.
I'm not surprised. I guess it's against Liberty. I didn't see it, though. I think the guy was actually pushed down into him, unless we're not seeing where the foul was. Another great block there by Radzikinis, by the way, and number 52 on a set play that time. Beautiful job of running it once again by McShane.
whenever, again, when we highlight a player, we usually call that player's name a lot. How many times have we called each individual offensive lineman's name tonight for Upper St. Clair? We probably could have picked any one of them the way that they've played tonight. It was kind of rocky getting to this point. They had some ups and downs. They beat Penn Hills in the WPIAA championship 18-12, then handled Cathedral Prep 30-7. And then last week it was a tougher than imagined 28-20 victory over State College.
So 5 yards for McShane, 15 yards on the personal foul penalty against Liberty. And now it's Conwell taking the ball on a toss sweep. He'll get inside the 30 and down close to another first down before he's finally bumped out of bounds inside the 27 to the 26-yard line.
Once again, it's Ratzikanis pulling out to the guard spot, and also Affelbaum, who really opened this up on the far side and turned it into a heck of a game.
Yeah, great layered blocking here.
There you see it. Both these guys leading out. They've been doing it all night long, and then the turn right here on the block buys about 3 more yards on that gain.
Ratzikanis, Affelbaum also shine with a nice block there. They really had it set up in a convoy fashion for Conwell.
Yeah, the stars tonight, if you're giving out an MVP, it's going to be the offensive line for Upper St. Clair. And the defensive secondary.
Second down and 1 for the Panthers. They'll give it right back to Conwell. He'll get the first down and more. Inside the 20, spins off another tackle, and will finally be wrapped up inside the 17-yard line.
This time it's a counter motion, and Sequoian, the left tackle, is going to stick a heck of a block to the inside. I mean, it's like a clinic. Watch this, number 68, Sequoian, as the play starts to come back here to the near side. Sequoian's going to come right here, turn, and make the block right here, and that's going to open up the game through the middle. There's Sequoian. You can see his uniform to your back. You know he's got it sealed to the inside, but you can see 68 staring right at you.
Joe Orlando finally making the tackles, but not before Conwell picks up another 10. First and 10 for the Panthers at the 16-yard line. Affelbaum with a slide step motion. Conwell following his lead block, gets inside the 10. Or excuse me, inside the 15 to about the 14.
We've seen some dominant performances here over the years. I can never remember, frankly, and this is always easy to say because you're up here tonight, but I can never remember seeing as dominant a performance in every facet of the game. And when you're at the point of 4:17 left in the third quarter here and there's no first downs for the other team, I think you can put a big D on the word dominant, because this team is totally prepared tonight, the team you see in black right now, that's Upper St. Clair.
Oliver Hawk shaken up a little bit on that play. He limps to the sidelines. Conwell will come back in at the tailback spot. On second down and about 8, there you see Conwell, 26 carries, 142 yards and 4 touchdowns. He had 16 touchdowns coming in 15 games. He got 4 tonight and maybe going for 5, and there it is. Dane Conwell takes it home. 14-yard score for Dane Conwell.
And number 37, Neil Affelbaum, might as well be an offensive lineman. The way he blocks, and wait till you see the block that he puts on this one, just absolutely opens up the hole. And it's not as if this isn't a tough Liberty defense. No. This is a strong defensive unit. They're just playing lights out tonight.
37 right back here. You're going to see it. Look at him. He pancaked his man right there. Let's see it again if we can. I mean, he pancaked the guy. He could work for IHOP with that kind of look.
Romansis will come off to attempt another extra point. Snap good, hold good, and once again, Romanus is true to form. 3:46 remaining in the football game now, and Upper St. Clair extends their lead to 40-0 on Dane Conwell's 5th rushing touchdown of the night.
Well, the mercy rule obviously kicks in now at this point in the game with 3:46 to go, but I'll tell you what, Affelbaum, watch this, here he is, right here. Watch Affelbaum now coming through this play. Here he comes, watch his block. Right here it's coming up, and you're going to see very quickly this guy go down. Look at this, bam! And it's wide open to the end zone for Conwell, again, his 4th touchdown. He only had 16 coming in the night you mentioned, Bob. He's added another 5th to his season right here.
And big 52, Ratzikanis with another one. And downfield, Adam Chrisis with a block right there that really seals the deal, so to speak.
Affelbaum wears 37, but he might as well just reverse those numbers. He's 73 because he plays much like an offensive lineman.
Here he is again.
But this is just straight ahead blocking. And this is how you run an off-tackle play.
This is like just a blocking clinic tonight. Look at these guys up front, whole time. Affelbaum taking his man down. Conwell says this is almost like too easy, guys.
You know, and in modern day football, even the high school level where you're talking about 4 receiver sets and all kinds of passing formations, Jim Render says, yeah, I can still play football my old style way and get it done just as well.
You know, for people right now who are looking at this from Liberty night and saying, man, you guys are tough. It's not a matter of Liberty being bad. It's a matter of a superb team playing on another level tonight and stripping away everything you do. And so, no disrespect meant to Liberty. They're a great team. But on the other side, Upper St. Clair is beyond great tonight. They're in another stratosphere.
Oscar Rivera on the kick return out across the 30-yard line. Let's go back down to the sidelines to Mike Krause.
Won the state championship, and the way they're playing tonight looks like they're going to get their second. But in 1988, the first year of the state championship, they won the Whippeal, and they defeated Pittsburgh Central Catholic. They applied. They were given a bid to come to the state tournament. The school board denied them that bid, so in second place was Central Catholic. They went, and they won the state tournament.
And Jim Render came back here in 1989, or came here in 1989, and did win that first state championship. And that is a great story. And in those days, Gary, you've talked about this so many times, that in those days, the WPIAA championship was everything to those teams in District 7 until they realized the value of winning a state championship.
Well, I know Jim Render was one of those guys in the beginning, too, who was kind of the leader in that and said, hey, you know, WPIAL is what we play for during the year. And the PIAA was kind of like Philadelphia is in basketball right now coming to it. The WPIAL was kind of slow in coming to it, but it's nice that they've been able to add that on as the next level after the WPIAL now, which is still an important championship out in the West.
And if you look at AA and Quad A, the last 6 years have been emphasis coming to Hershey for the WPIAL.
The 6th sack of the football game for the Panther defense. Drops Persa back inside the 30-yard line to the 28. This time they'll go with a little shovel pass. It'll get him back to the 30-yard line. We take a look at some of the past champions as we talk about championships. And there you see, as Mike Krause told you, Pittsburgh Central Catholic winning the first official Quad A state championship in 1988, and then Jim Render winning the second for Upper St. Clair in 89.
Well, what's interesting, too, is when you look back here, there's only been 3 times that WPIAL has not been represented, and Erie Cathedral Prep has come here, I believe, all 3 times.
2-yard pickup on that shovel pass for Dan Persa and the Hurricanes to the 30-yard line. 3rd down and 14 coming up for Liberty.
Those years 91, 99, and 2000 for Cathedral Prep, representing District 10 and the West in the Quad A championship.
Snap, a flag before the football, and Brett Scheller was coming on a blitz on 3rd and long, and a delay of game penalty is going to cost Liberty 5 yards.
0 for 7 so far on 3rd down, and that look on Tim Monsman's face might describe trying to look for something.
If you've ever coached at a game like this, I don't care what sport you are, that look shows you that, man, you know, you just feel like no matter how good your season was, this moment you're just being stripped down, and it's one of the worst feelings you could ever have as a coach. You really got to feel for Coach Monsman.
Persa again under pressure, shakes one tackle, shakes a second. He's going to take off and run with it now and across the 35-yard line to the 37, to the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. Not going to be enough for a 1st down.
Taylor Everett with the big stop. Brings up 4th and 8.
You can see here just running for his life. And you know, untouched again because of the blitz. Watch this. Just straight on through. Nothing going on there as far as a block. And now you got Percy saying, oh, no, not again. And trying to just take off just to save some yardage.
So Conwell gets the 5 touchdowns on offense, makes his presence known on defense as well. And Conwell is a good one at linebacker. Again, Dane Conwell heading to Indiana next year to play for the Hoosiers.
Looking very, very tentative as he runs in as Dan Persa. I mean, he is taking a beating tonight and gotten some hits on defense, too, as well.
Upper St. Clair takes over 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line following the fair catch on the punt. Jim Render with some final last-minute instructions for his quarterback, Pat McShane. Again, a 3-year starter at cornerback, a 2-year starter at quarterback, and a 3-year starter in basketball as well.
We're talking about Persa. Persa heading off to Northwestern University next year in Evanston, Illinois, just north of Chicago by about 13 yards. And had a daughter who went there. It's a beautiful, beautiful campus. You get to play at Ryan Field next year for Coach Pat Fitzgerald.
McShane under center in the I formation to give it to the fullback, Affelbaum. The blocking back so often tonight gets his second carry to about the 36.
That's got to be a reward.
Yeah.
You've been blocking your brains out, kid. Come on, take the ball and run a little bit with it right now.
We've been trying to find words to describe how this offense has been. I think debilitating comes to mind because they've only thrown the ball 6 times. Very efficient throwing the football has been Pat McShane, but they have just been absolutely pounding away at this Liberty defensive line.
You say debilitating, and I'll add relentless. I mean, those two, it's like trying to stop a wave right now.
McShane, to further emphasize Steve's point, 4 for 6 throwing the football, 64 yards. All 4 passes were key first down pickups. They throw when they have to, and they're good when they do it. Run that time by Scheller, picks up a couple yards to the 40.
There's Zach Dobler this time, a new number into the game, number 76, doing a nice job on the block.
And that should be and will be the final play of period number 3 as the Upper St. Clair Panthers add another one on the scoreboard, actually add 2 more on the scoreboard here in the 3rd quarter, and at the end of 3 quarters of play in the Quad A final, Upper St. Clair on top of Liberty by a score of 40-0. We'll come back with a final 12 after this.
This PIAA Sports Championship on PCN is underwritten by the Association of Pennsylvania State College and University Faculties. Every day, APSCA faculty and coaches of the 14 state system universities are making the difference in the lives of students. Committed, dedicated, that's APSCA, Pennsylvania's own state system faculty. And by PIAA. Pennsylvania's best choice for affordable student aid solutions is proud to be a sponsor of the PIAA Football Championships. Funding higher education in Pennsylvania for more than 43 years, PIAA's gift to Pennsylvania is the future leaders, caregivers, and inventors we help create.
Staying here with Brad Cashman, the PIAA Executive Director. Brad, there's going to be some changes next year, and one of those is bringing in the Philadelphia Catholic Leagues for the PIAA.
That's right. We have 17 schools under the jurisdiction of the Archdiocese of Philadelphia that are definitely coming in. There are 2 other independent Catholic schools that we're not sure of, but we're guaranteed 17. Of those 17, 14 have football. There will be 6 right now that would be classified Quad A when they come in. There are 5 AAA, and there will be 3 AAAs.
What's that going to impact on the classifications?
Well, we think what's going to happen is that the shift of the larger schools to the east is definitely going to continue. We have a lot of large schools right now in the eastern part of the state. This is going to make that shift even that much greater.
Can we go back upstairs there to Bob and that touchdown that we just saw?
We'll continue that interview with Brad Cashman in a second, but Adam Christus just went 50-plus yards for a touchdown and almost ran right into Brad Cashman and Mike Krause on the sidelines in the process.
Well, they ran past and waved on the way by, and I'll tell you what, just student body left, go between the guard and the tackle, and it was nothing but clean green in front of him the whole way down, Steve.
So Christus with his first touchdown of the night. And the extra point is good. And let's head back down now and finish off. We watch this rerun one more time before we do that with Adam Christus.
Just a good job by Christus of letting his block set up in front of him and then just taking off. And that looks about as straight a line as you can go. What is that, the shortest distance between 2 points? Straight line, and Christus shows you right here. Waits for the blocks, look at the blocks, push to the outside, and then just straight on down the field.
And look at the block downfield. Again, I mean, it is relentless.
And we'll head back down now, guys. Watch your back. It's Mike Krause and Brad Cashman.
Well, we'd appreciate some kind of a heads up when we see these kids running down full speed at our back. As we were finishing off, Brad, then also we're going to have a change as far as the starting of the season.
Well, that won't be happening until 2008 if it happens at all. Right now we have a proposal before the football steering committee to take a look at shortening the season by 2 weekends. It's going to mean some extension or some expansion of the classifications that we have right now. Currently we have 4. Our proposal is to expand to 8 double number classifications, but we'll see how the football steering committee deals with that and what they're going to recommend to the board. They will meet this Wednesday, December 20th.
Well, Brad, thanks for your time. A great tournament, and thoughts on the weekend?
Well, I think it was a great weekend. Of course, the weather gods have been great to us this year. I think we're due for a couple more of these. So hopefully the weather will continue like this for next year. Cross our fingers, but it's been a great weather weekend and great attendance this year and great games.
Thanks for your time. Back to you, Bob.
Thank you very much, Mike Krause, Brad Cashman, Bob Lombardi. Mark Byers, Melissa Mertz, the PIAA Executive Committee, they do a great job, obviously, in running all these tournaments, not just football, but all the sports at the high school level, and the changing, ever-evolving face of the PIAA tournaments.
And one of the other guys, too, Bob Lombardi, who takes care of the officials. So I'll tell you what, these officials all week, and let's talk about them, have done really a fabulous job. We've seen a couple calls. You know, you're always going to see a couple calls, but overall, they've kept great control of the games. You haven't seen a whole lot of choppiness or chippiness all weekend long. It's really been fun to watch them. So championship officiating as well as championship play here too.
Personal foul on Liberty on the run back.
The second time we've seen a personal foul penalty against the Hurricanes. And again, it's just frustration setting in for Bethlehem Liberty. I mean, they got here last year to the state final. One-sided performance by McKeesport in that football game. 49-10 the final score in that one. This one now 47-0. It's been a frustration. Again, significant contributions from a lot of different people all season long, and a great season for Bethlehem Liberty. But to get to the state championship game and really just get pushed around out there by a very good Upper St. Clair team, it's got to be frustrating. And so the Hurricanes will start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line.
And again, right on top is number 59 there, who's been tough on defense all night long and offense, Dan Mulholland, who dives in there to stop the play.
Hakeem Smith gets the carry for Liberty. He'll take it to about the 16-yard line. 2nd down and 8 coming up for the Hurricanes.
Everybody thought coming into this game tonight, this was going to be a nip-and-tuck game for 4 quarters. You know, we were talking to a lot of people today from both sides of the state. I said, hey, this is going to be, you know, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a tough game. And, you know, Wilson's an outstanding team, but you're just watching a team tonight in a different place.
2nd down and 8 for the Hurricanes. They go back to Hakeem Smith. He'll get to about the 20-yard line before he's wrapped up. Pick up of about 4, maybe 5 more for Hakeem Smith.
And I still think one of the problems that Liberty just has not been able to solve is the activity and the athleticism and the speed of this Upper St. Clair defense. Because when you go into the 4th quarter and you don't have a first down, and you come in averaging close to 40 points a game, there is something that you're not being able to handle on the defense. And I just think that it's the speed of this USC defense.
Quick lateral movement and discipline.
We see it right there.
There it is again.
Yep. You know, right there is a perfect example. Persa thinks that he's got an opportunity, and now there's going to be an unsportsmanlike call.
And it's going to be Everett for taunting.
Yep.
Yeah, Everett came over, he made a great play, and then he taunted afterward. Watch Everett, number 88, he's coming right off this side. He's going to come in and make the play. And then he gets up and does a little taunting. And I'll tell you what, when you're up 47-0, there's no place for that. Look, I don't think he was really, oh, yep, he did. He pushed it, you know, the one move wasn't so bad, but then he kind of ground his foot into the ground. That really isn't needed.
And I guarantee you, somebody's going to have a piece of Taylor Everett. You know who it is going to be, don't you? It's going to be Jim Render.
Yeah.
So that's going to give Liberty their first down of the football game after the sack. And Jim Render will not be happy with that. I can guarantee you that.
Well, Jim Render's a classy guy, too, and his team's classy, and that just wasn't a very classy play, frankly. And there's a young man, Mr. Everett, who has played a superior game tonight. I mean, this kid has been all over the field, but you got to keep that excitement inside just a little bit.
For what it's worth, that's the 7th sack of the football game for the Upper St. Clair Panthers.
Well, if you look at Jim Render, you know, there's one word comes to mind, unflappable.
Everett does stay out on the field for what it's worth. He lined up outside linebacker on the right side of Panther defense, and this time a pass complete to Oscar Rivera, who breaks a tackle. Oscar Rivera down the sidelines to the 30, 20, one man to beat, and finally bumped and pushed towards the pylon. He got stepped on the 3-yard line and out of bounds
at the 2.
So a terrific run after the catch by Oscar Rivera.
This was a down and out, short of the first down, and it looked like he was going to get tackled again, and just not very good tackling, just a down and out play. Now watch, right there, he's missed by number 4, that's Danny Miller, and then just takes off, and finally he's pushed out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
66 yards on the play.
And Ramsey Lesned saves the touchdown.
So the Hurricanes had not gotten a first down. They get a gift one on the personal foul penalty, and then Oscar Rivera with a 67-yard catch and run. Takes it to a 1st and goal situation to the 2-yard line, and a timeout called on the field.
And Adam Chris has ended up finally pushing him out of bounds, number 40. Need to give him credit as well. What a great play. And there you see, you would be pretty sure he's in a pretty tight game here at the moment, wouldn't you?
We see Mike Krause was right there, right near that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Let's see what he has to say.
Everett had dug his foot in the ground. And they understand the penalty. It was uncostly, but more reason, you have a 47-point lead. You still, as a coach, you have goals they want to accomplish. One thing that they haven't done all season is had a 0 on the defensive side. That penalty could have an impact, and they might not end up with that 0 in this championship game either.
Right now, with Liberty looking at a 1st and goal at the 2-yard line. 9 minutes now remaining in the football game.
24th of November was 24-3. 3 is the lowest number they've given up all year.
Persa under center. Broken eye behind him. Here comes the toss sweep. Penalty flag goes down as Akeem Smith will walk into the end zone. But again, a personal foul, or excuse me, a penalty flag comes down on the play.
Looks like illegal procedure.
Yep. And so instead of getting their first touchdown of the football game, they'll back them up 5 to a 2nd and goal from the 7.
You're just going to see some movement from the backs. Right there, you can see him. He's moving too quickly and too early before the snap, and illegal procedure. Just not going to come easy tonight for Liberty in any way, shape, or form.
So it'll be 1st and goal to go from the 7-yard line following the 5-yard penalty.
Wonder what's going through that guy's mind right now. Tim Munchman, he's brought a team here 2 years in a row. 49-10 last year, 47-0 at the moment, and just has just done a tremendous job coaching coming to this game, and it's just been tough.
Again, out of the eye, Persa wants to throw for it. Akeem Smith makes the catch at the 2 and will back into the end zone for the touchdown.
Nice
So
throw.
The Hurricanes finally do get those points.
Yeah, an outstanding throw that time by Dan Persa. Paid for it as he got whacked by 52 Radzakainis, but a nice throw over the defense.
Well, here's the play. Now, everything's coming this way. Now watch. And then Akeem Smith just comes out, and then Persa gets hit at the end, but delivers the pass and gets on the board. There he is, going right back across. Beautiful lead. Akeem Smith takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Liberty. And again, blocked. There's that special teams again. And coming in for the block is Dan Miller, number 4.
And so with now 8 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in our football game, the score, Upper St. Clair 47 and Liberty 6. We'll take a break and come back with more from Hersheypark Stadium on Pennsylvania's Championship Network, PCN.
Reaching, caring, inspiring, teaching. Every day, APSCUF faculty members of the 14 state system universities are making the difference in the lives of students.
What I get to do here is not just teach. Teaching is great, I love it, but you get to mentor. And mentoring to me means that at certain points, I'm explaining things, but I'm also listening and we're problem solving together.
Committed, dedicated, APSCUF, Pennsylvania's own state system faculty.
Need my A game today. I've worked hard for this. Gotta give 110%. I've trained. I've prepared. Don't forget, leadership, teamwork, communication.
That's right. A game today and every day.
Stay involved in interscholastic athletics. Become a PIAA registered official. Stay in the game.
The Liberty Hurricanes finally getting some points on the board. It comes on the 20th touchdown pass of the season from Dan Persa to Akeem Smith from 7 yards out, and the score, the extra point blocked, and our score now 47-6, Upper St. Clair on top.
And for Akeem Smith, his 4th touchdown catch of the season as well. With 8:12 to go here in the 4th quarter. It was a long time coming, but at least just one moment you can celebrate in this game so far, Steve Ball.
Well, and the defensive coordinator brought Taylor Everett over and was talking to him, and it wasn't one of those ear-burning type deals. He just said, look what happened. We're still trying to, trying for the shutout and all this stuff. And we went from having a 4th down and making them punt to, giving them first down, and then they got some new life.
You want to see a little bit of class right here? You want to see a little bit of class right here? You're watching Upper St. Clair, number 40. Adam Quissa says we'll take the knee. They're not trying to gain yardage on that. They're just going to set up right there and run their offense. That is classy on the part of Coach Render and Upper St. Clair.
Taking a knee at the 14-yard line. Yep. Plenty of room to run in front of him if he chose to with that kick return. And instead, Adam Quissa just takes a knee. And with 8:04 remaining, again, under the mercy rule clock, the clock will start running on the snap of the football and will continue to run unless there is a score or an injury timeout on the field. Affelbaum stays in there at fullback with Conwell at tailback, and Conwell, as he's done so much tonight, follows Affelbaum around left end across the 15 to about the 16.
Why not follow Affelbaum? My gosh, he's about as sure a blocker as you're ever going to see. Takes on his man again, sustains the block.
Here comes the curtain call.
And here they come off the field. You're going to see the upper second. Look at Jim Render.
Look at the cheerleader.
Take a look at him down there on the field. Look at this. Look at this. Lead them off. He knows what they've done today. This guy has seen an awful lot of football. For him to stand out there and do that is incredible.
Basketball season is right around the corner as football season winds down here tonight on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. And we'll be there starting in January with our high school game of the week. The regular season coverage will culminate in March. The PIAA Championships live from State College, the Bryce Jordan Center, the site this year for the state basketball finals. Check out our website for more information. And you can always contact us here at PCN. We value your opinions and your thoughts about programming. PCNTV.com or the contact line 717-730-6004.
It's a great move. Someone says, why don't you just, bring out the second team? The curtain call is well-deserved, especially for this group. They're going to end up 16-0 state champs. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that, and they really deserve what they got.
Shane Brennan, the new quarterback, hands off to Kevin McCullough, the tailback. And McCullough will fight for a couple of yards to about the 5-4, maybe the 5-yard line. And don't forget, these guys have been part of all the two-a-days and all the
foreign teams,
the scout team work and all that kind of stuff. And hey, they get a chance to work out in the Hersheypark field and get themselves some state championship notoriety as well.
There you saw a guy, number 70, Brendan Fowler, just in the game, a junior, 5'9". He's a guard. He just had a nice block on that play. So Fowler gets in there. I want to give a little credit to some of these guys that normally don't get to see a ton of action.
Chris Engel is the new fullback, and again, McCullough is the tailback. And they'll give it to the fullback Engel. He'll take it to about the 20-yard line, now pushing forward, still pushing. The 23, 24,
wow.
25.
First down. How about
we'll
that?
Pick up another first down for Upper St. Clair.
We also see a lot of new numbers on the Liberty defense, too. And Tim Muntzman doing the same thing Jim Render is, giving an opportunity to the guys who really go through it just like the starters do all year.
Was it amazing to watch that one? If you ever watched the game rugby, right there it was. That was the scrum, and just in this case, though, a moving scrum going down the field.
So it's a 1st and 10 for Upper St. Clair. And now Michael Shugri is in there at the quarterback spot, number 12. Pitch to McCullough. McCullough tries to turn the corner, gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. Mamuzic in there on the tackle for Bethlehem Liberty.
A lot of new numbers coming into the game right now for Upper St. Clair.
Shifting in and out almost every play.
Schmoyer comes in there, number 11. Number 25, Kevin McCullough, into the ball game as well.
Now Shane Brennan back in there at quarterback. So it was Brennan on the one play. Then it was Shugri, and now it's back to Brennan.
I have the greatest respect for Coach Render, and I just love, what he's looking at right now. This is the first practice for next season. I'm serious. That's what you're looking at right now. He's starting to evaluate and see where we're going to be this time, opening game next year.
And talking about that interview with Mike Krause and Brad Cashman, and Jim Render's about to get wet. He doesn't know it yet, but it's coming, Jim. Coach, I don't know if you can hear me, but it's coming. Somebody held it off. But just to finish the thought, Brad Cashman talking about the season being extended this week, and there were a lot of people who were thinking that it was a problem, and there's the bath for Jim Redmond.
Well, the only guys that are going to do that are seniors, because they don't have to see him again next season.
And just for what it's worth, just to finish it off, the football coaches certainly don't mind it. You know why? Because they get 5 and 6 extra weeks of practice, and all these guys, the younger underclassmen, all get that much more time and that much more work, and makes their job that much easier come
here
the
it
summer.
is. Oh, now watch this. Now watch this. He's not real happy about this at first. Oh, it's cold. Oh, my gosh. I don't care. Oh, who did that? Now he's looking. Oh,
somebody's running tomorrow. Oh,
someone's
wait,
running. Looks says, oh, you guys aren't playing with me next year. Those are the only guys going to get away with that. Now he's back in his normal, unflappable look.
Right now he's thinking, boy, is my back cold.
Yeah. And is my hair ever getting frozen in a hurry? Look at his kick.
Another booming kick from Ben Freud. We forgot about him a little bit. He had perhaps the punt of the tournament. One that hit the 5-yard line, a 50-yard plus punt. And here comes Oscar Rivera again on the punt return. And Oscar Rivera is going to take it home for a touchdown. 60-plus yards on the punt return for Oscar Rivera.
76 to be exact.
Boy, did he make a move. Yep. I mean, he headed to the middle. He gave a hip step to the outside, and it was nothing but daylight down the near sideline.
So Oscar Rivera had a big pass reception that set up the first touchdown, and now a punt return for the second touchdown for Liberty.
Watch this. Watch him step to the middle. Shoot. Right there. See you later. I mean, there wasn't any great block that set up. Shoot, back to the middle, and then just flashing through there and using that unbelievable speed.
Officially 70 yards.
Window dressing, to say the least, for the Liberty Hurricanes, but a little bit of pride as well, as the extra point is up and good. 3:59 remaining. The score now 47-13.
Watch this. Give a little bit here, a little bit back here. Little dance step going, a little front of stair move. And then Rivera heads off for the end zone. No front of stair move here, just jet speed.
Or perhaps maybe more appropriate, more Emmitt Smith move.
Could be. Emmitt Smith, yeah.
You know, the king
Dancing with the Stars. And Cheryl, by the way. Don't forget Cheryl. Cheryl Park.
It's the football tie-in with Dancing with the Stars. You see,
there's a chance you haven't had too much of that tonight. Wave the L flags.
Not to mention that other than Jim Redner, he's the only guy on the sidelines who remembers Fred Astaire.
I remember Fred Astaire.
Well, I'm just meaning his players certainly don't know who Fred Astaire is. Emmitt Smith, they know.
That's exactly right.
You would hope. 3:59 left in the football game. 47-13 Upper St. Clair. On their way to winning the Quad A championship. The Class A championship went to the Southern Columbia Tigers, their 5th in a row, 56-14 over West Middlesex.
People know who Fred Astaire is. See that?
The AAA championship this afternoon went to the Wilson Area Warriors, 29-28 over Jeanette. And the AAA championship game last night went to General McLean over Pottsville, 28-23. And we'll save all those people who meet this, for whatever reason, means so much to them. It will be 2 for the East and 2 for the West. For those of you who count that, and I know there's a lot of you out there for whatever reason who do.
We don't. We sit here and actually just like to see good football games, and that's basically what we've seen here all weekend long. And some just great dominating efforts like Southern Columbia yesterday to start this off, and ending it tonight with another dominating effort here by Upper St. Clair, and again, taking the knee at the 11-yard line.
So we saw 2 one-sided games, and we also saw 2 barn burners, the AAA game last night, and of course the AA game this afternoon, all out, both of them outstanding football games.
Interestingly enough, though, I was talking to someone at halftime, and the word blowout comes up, and he made a really good point. He said, rather than look at it as a blowout, there's a team that's very, very good, playing their best on the biggest stage. I mean, certainly Southern Columbia was a prohibitive favorite, but if they don't block well and if they don't run well, same with USC tonight, it's a different story.
Gary said it so many times tonight. It was a clinic.
Well, and you know, there's a beauty to watching a superior team play on a level that, I mean, they've been at a high level all season, but a level that goes beyond that for the biggest game. I mean, that really talks about preparation, coaching, tapes, you know, the whole thing. I mean, it all comes together at one time. When you see that sometimes, you have to sit there and marvel at that. And again, feel bad for Liberty tonight. They've had an outstanding season, a collection of great moments. But if you want to talk about one moment in a season of wonderful moments, tonight for Upper St. Clair, they stepped into a place that teams rarely go.
Yeah.
Football coaches love to watch film perhaps as much as anybody, and they're going to get a chance to have a highlight film. If you want to teach blocking, if you want to teach tackling, watch some of this.
Here we go. Just sit back and enjoy. I'll tell you what, all night long, defensive secondary, we talked about it. Again, coming up right here. How about a little blitz from Mr. Everett? And then you're going to see this, special teams, blocking. Safety in the end zone. I mean, it's been like that all night long. You could pick a whole lot of packages and put them in there, and you get the idea.
Upper St. Clair continuing to run the football with the tailback, Kevin McCullough, a senior, getting a chance to run here in the state championship game. He picks up a first down for the Panthers out across the 25 to the 26.
We should also mention that as precise as they've been and as relentless as they've been and as dominant as they've been on offense, defense, special teams, they also did a great job of dousing the coach. That's one of the great coach dousings that you're ever going to see.
They used every bit of water there. You see Doran Gilstrap coming out of the game there, number 19. Want to get as many of these guys called in there as we can.
Yeah, they didn't miss much. Sometimes you only get maybe a foot, a leg, whatever. They got all of Jim Render.
That was a headshot. I mean, they started with the head and just dripped down. It was a trickle-down effect the rest of the body.
Maybe it was that stutter step that got him going first initially, then they held back, and then they came back for a second run.
Well, I got to tell you what. That's the only thing that Jim Render didn't plan tonight. I mean, it was about the only time he got caught off guard.
And we've talked so much about the technique and schemes of Upper St. Clair tonight, but let us give an opportunity to talk about the great techniques and the great job of all production. Of course, the production here for the state championship done by our friends from Service Electric out of the Lehigh Valley, and Andy Himmelwright, our director, and his crew do such a great job. Countless replays and great angles and great things coming out of the production crew. And guys, this is my first chance to work with you and Gary Sutton and Steve Bowen, and thanks for taking me along for the ride. It's been a lot of fun. As McCullough with the run for a big first down as Upper St. Clair continues to pick up yards on the ground.
I'm going to tell you something. I think McCullough stopped. I don't think McCullough, he ran by Jim Render. And I'm serious. I think Jim Render said stop, and he put the brakes. You watch this. He's got a touchdown. He goes through, nice line block. I mean, this is class. You're going to watch. He's running by. Here's Jim Render right over here. And he's going to run by. Now watch this. I mean, he put the brakes on.
You got to tell people when you're going to do that. Holy cow.
First and 10 for Upper St. Clair
It was a
at
moment.
the 41-yard line.
We're talking about the great moments tonight. That wasn't one of them.
Our audio guy wants your license plate number.
I got to tell you what, you've seen it tonight. You've seen a lot of class here. You see the team that didn't quit and kept on trying to come back. But you've seen one tonight for the ages. This team went above and beyond where most great teams ever have a chance to go. Upper St. Clair.
And they are the Quad A state champions, and they do so in a dominating fashion. 47-13, the final score, Upper St. Clair over the Liberty Hurricanes. And so we will take a break. We'll come back and we'll show you the trophy presentation of Liberty and Upper St. Clair. Again, the Quad A state championship belongs to the Panthers, 47-13.
PCN tours can be watched at your desk or on the go too. Just visit PCNTV.com. Click on PCN Online and watch tours at the usual times during the week. Or click on Podcasts and download a tour and watch it anytime you want on your computer or your video iPod. Get PCN tours the way you want them, on cable, online, or on your iPod. Need a gift idea? How about a PCN tour or a Gettysburg Battle Walk for the holidays? If the person on your list likes manufacturing or following in the footsteps of Civil War soldiers, go online and visit the PCN store for a list of tours and battle walks you can buy on VHS or DVD. And now you can preview parts of our most popular programs before you buy. Shop at the PCN store at PCNTV.com or call 1-866-PCN-VIDEO. The State Farm Show has something for everybody. Which event are you better suited for? Trying to hold on for just a few pulse-pounding seconds to a frenzied, ground-shaking 1,800-pound bull? Or maybe you prefer a contest where you weave sheep's wool into a colorful shawl? Whichever you prefer, you'll find both events and everything in between during Farm Show Week, beginning January 6th on PCN. Only on cable.
PIAA football championship weekend comes to an end, and it does so with a dominating performance by Upper St. Clair in the Quad A final over Liberty by a final score of 47-13. Upper St. Clair started fast, and they came through furious, and they just continued to pile it on, and they come away with the gold trophies as the Liberty Hurricanes will walk away with silver. Upper St. Clair right now celebrating with their fans before the trophy presentation. And guys, it has been an interesting weekend to say the least. And again, Upper St. Clair just did it all tonight. And again, they started early, they got it done. They did a little bit of passing, but it was mostly a ground assault. Dane Conwell got the rewards, but it was clearly a team effort.
Well, when you think about this game today, you just think about execution. Execution in every facet of the game. And it started with the blocking, and then it started with the defensive secondary and the great defensive line they had and the quickness along the line all night. And just basically taking away each thing that Liberty did throughout the evening and doing it with style and execution and finishing off every single thing that they did. I mean, you think about this tonight, as I said before, a team that's great, heading off into another land that most teams never get a chance to see. It was something to behold.
And Steve, that's the offense. The defense was pretty good too. You're talking about a Division I quarterback in Dan Persa who was rendered virtually invisible.
We talked going in about the offense, how pounding it is. We talked about Conwell, McShane. Defensively, they took over this game from the get-go. When you go into the fourth quarter, the other team doesn't even have a first down. They get their first down on a penalty. They were so good defensively tonight, and I really think that they kind of surprised Liberty, because I just thought that the speed and the quickness and the reading ability of that defense just absolutely took away anything that Liberty tried to do offensively.